Okay.
This is the point where you say hi, woman.
Hello. I didn't know if we were live or not. You have
Instead
to tell
of
me.
making me say crazy things.
You have to say. You have to start. You're the one who presses the button. Hello, everybody.
Actually, you're the one who presses the button. I have to press the corresponding
But
one.
you have to push the other button then when we go live. Hello. How's it going, everybody? We're a little late and gay tonight because I have crippling depression.
Poo.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's like I was like, do I have mono? I think maybe I have. What's it called? I don't know what. What'd you say, Bill? I don't know. He won't repeat it. But
Not safe for TV.
maybe I have. What's it called? Chronic fatigue syndrome or something. But recently, I just can't get any energy. Even if I drink coffee. Like earlier, I woke up at like 10 a.m. and I went to sleep fairly early. But then I woke up at like 10 a.m. So I overslept. I was on a stream.
Can you send me the thumbnail?
At noon. Yeah, I'll send it to you real quick. I was on a stream at noon where we streamed for about 3 hours. And when we started, I was so exhausted. I felt bad because I was like, man, I'm real low energy. And then I drank coffee. I got a little bit of energy. And by the end of the 3 hours, I just went back into the bedroom and passed out. And then I slept for like 3 hours and I'm still so tired. I don't know why. I absolutely can't wake up. Wake me up inside.
Don't ever say
Save
that
me.
ever again. Cringe.
Cring.
Gross.
Try cocaine. That should help. Maybe. I just had a.
That's a Hunter Biden drug.
I got a Starbucks espresso double shot, which I've drank half of because here's the thing: I'm also way sensitive to caffeine. So if I drink too much caffeine, then I'll be up till freaking 6 in the morning, and then I'll screw up my sleep schedule. It keeps happening, and I don't. At first I thought
do that.
Yeah, I've never done that before. At first I thought it was just that it was messing me up because of daylight savings time, but now it's light out until 7, which is about how I like it. You know, I play the goofy version of that song. I'll do it again. Yeah, gosh. Fuck, I lost my. I didn't wake me up before you go. I love Bill's commentary in the background. Yeah, we'll. Spoon is still getting the Rumble stream, I think, set up. We just kind of forgot to do it. If you did notice, there was also a fake version of this stream that went up because, look, we're just not used to this. We kind of got into a rhythm after doing it for over a year, and this is new territory.
I'm slowly wanting to get the hell away from YouTube.
Oh no.
In general.
Understandable.
And then just, if I could do exclusive content on Rumble and get paid more for it, I would happily only Rumble.
Here's some photon torpedoes that lock on to anything that has fear.
What was that, Phil? You got some photon torpedoes?
To anything with fear.
Photon torpedoes that lock on to anything that has fear. All right. All right. I don't know exactly what's going on. Bill's having a time. Should we just get started while you, or did you have the Rumble thing just about set up?
What's that key that you just sent me?
I was just sending that to you to make sure, but it's working. So
is that the stream key?
That is the restream key. Yes.
Okay.
That goes both to YouTube and to Rumble, but with Rumble it just says unable to connect. I don't know what that's about. Why don't we just let's just get into it, all right? We'll try to have the Rumble set up next time we stream. We've done it twice, but it's being confusing right now. So, Trump went to New York. Trump's finally going to jail. Wow, for sure. He's totally 100% going to jail, guys. For real. No cap.
Who the hell is going to do this?
Lunatic lefties who are celebrating, and this is the thing.
I wouldn't even say that. It's more just the case, like from the news
it's
that I've
only
read.
The actual lunatics. That's what I mean. Like it's not even the run-of-the-mill lunatics. Like even CNN is telling them to curb their enthusiasm. Yes. And the reason why they probably are smart to do that is because when this falls through, because it's a giant dumpster fire, because it's a giant dumpster fire, the people who are getting excited about it are going to inherently be left down, and they're going to get mad at the Democrats.
Yeah.
They're
Which
going to
is
be like,
gonna be
well,
great,
you
by
had
the
him.
way.
You had him in your hands. You had him right there. You had your fingers around his neck, and you didn't snap it.
I know, it's great.
That's the spirit.
That's why that's why I think now they're trying to, like I said, curb their enthusiasm on it, because it's like the couple of absolute loons who are still taking this really seriously are going to be very let
really
down
disappointed.
when they realize it's
It's not gonna
actual
happen.
nonsense. It's actual nonsense, and I think they're going to blame the Democrats for it.
They're gonna blame
that's-
Bragg.
They will probably. Well, they
They-
can't blame him too much because he's black, and we're going to get into the racismus of how you it's. Oh, it's so infuriating. It's all so tiresome. But
Be a rough time. Continually fed money and fattened up by the Soros Foundation, and realizing that you're being fattened up to go die.
I mean, he does. I have thought that, and I've asked you
God,
about
he
that.
is being fed to go to slaughter.
It does kind of feel that way, right?
That's horrible, and
But it
yeah,
does feel that way. That
fucking
Bragg
true,
is
probably.
their sacrificial lamb on this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because Bragg's gonna bury himself.
A bunch of Baal worshippers wouldn't sacrifice someone?
No,
That's just silly.
nobody who worships Moloch would do such a thing.
No, but this Molech is the act of sacrifice, not the god.
Oh, the Molech
Baal
is
the god.
Baal is the god. I should know that. I watched
Offer
Stargate.
not up your children up to Molech, which is the act of burning someone.
I thought Molech was a god too.
No,
Oh well.
It's the act of burning.
The more you know. So let's look.
Christians. Let me get this shit.
Let's look at it. Donald Trump pictured in New York court as he pleads not guilty to 34 felony counts. Wow, we really got him this time, don't we? 34 felony counts. For what?
Do you
what?
actually do you know the story about this?
I do. We're gonna read the document, and we're gonna look at Bragg being called out for it.
I just can't look at him because ever since I realized he's named after a chipmunk, and I can't
He does look
look
like
at
a
his
chipmunk a
cheek
little
and
bit.
just like you just
Look
look
at
like
his
a
chubby cheeks.
yeah, exactly. It's like yeah, I can't take you seriously, and also the fact that it's a bloke of color trying to chase a white man and he's gonna fail. It's like, oh god, just like the white supremacist memes. It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Everything about this is just set up to be a glorious joke. It is
We said, "Oh my
just-
god," in unison.
Mwah,
beautiful.
it's glorious. I love it. It's fantastic.
Synchronized cringing. The
fucking look what we
76-year-old
have to deal with
Republican
here.
is accused of using a catch and kill scheme to identify
67.
buy
I
and 76
was gonna say.
buy and bury negative information about him and boost his electoral prospects.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't because
Mhm.
Clinton was standing next to him or anything.
I know. The grand jury indictment, which has been unsealed, which he probably should, that in of itself might be a felony, that he leaked it, or somebody leaked it. Somebody leaked all these documents. If it was Alvin Bragg, who I suspect it was, or someone from his office, that could be a felony in and of itself, by the way.
Well done, by the way,
Heffer-
EF. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, Heifer 10 says, I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. I voted for him in 2020 for policy. Now I'm going to vote for him out of spite to see the rampage. This is something that, I've said this before. How do they not have any, like, you don't have a single social scientist, like a single one instructing, giving any Democrat policymakers or Democrat politicians any kind of advice on this? Because I could tell you, I'm sorry, this is,
Rise end effect.
it's not just the strike. Well, yeah, I would call it psychological reactance, but it's the same thing. When you stifle somebody's freedom, it causes psychological reactance. This is freshman level understanding of human psychology and human communication. So I'm kind of shocked that nobody's told them. I think that's why they're walking it back now. Because one, I think they've probably been told by their strategists, this is going to blow up in your face, because when this inevitably fails, and this is now what, the third or fourth time you've tried to do this kind of shit with him? You already tried to impeach him twice. I mean, you did technically impeach him, but you failed to secure the full impeachment process. You didn't get him out of the office. Now
Yeah,
you're
pretty much.
trying to send him to jail for 136 years. What is it,
So,
Bill?
They couldn't even find someone to stand up to George Lucas on set of The Phantom Menace. What makes you think that someone's going to stand up to the person that can suck the adrenochrome out of an infant child like it's a crawfish?
Bruh.
And then when every time he smiles, it's like looking at the entire Osmond family laid over each other in Photoshop.
Are you talking about Joe Biden?
No, George Soros.
Oh, George. Yeah. Okay.
Actual people, actually.
Well, yeah. Someone.
I
With
was
some
also
actual
kind of
power.
confused about who he meant.
Yeah, George
Up until he
Soros.
said
We'll,
George
we'll get
Soros.
into, because of course that is bringing up the fact. I'm going to read you this article in a little bit where they go over some of the information on the claims that Alvin Bragg is a Soros-backed DA, because they're saying, oh, that's an anti-Semitic dog whistle. We're going to explain to you how he's not really backed by George Soros. He's just backed by this organization that was paid $1 million to George Soros and then turned around and spent exactly $1 million on Alvin Bragg's campaign. Whoa! Weird, but totally not backed by George Soros, guys. That's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
By the way,
Makes me, again, it's all so incredibly tiresome. Who do you think you're fooling?
Democrats.
Yeah, apparently.
Also, look at this, right?
To give them a buzzword to say anti-Semitic, racist.
Look at these two on your screen. You telling me, look at Trump's wife. You telling me that he fucked these two instead of her? Like, really?
I mean, he might have.
No fucking way.
Have you seen Stormy Daniels from back in the day when she was like have you seen what she looks like now? Because she's still doing porn. She is haggard. No, I think I saw one the other day that was a safe for work picture, but it was like a nudie pic, but it'd be okay. It'd be safe for work. I'm gonna look this up.
Some blue and on nitwit on. By the way, thanks for the 10, Gary. Some nitwit on Twitter said that we as Americans can't allow anyone above the law. I find it funny they have all of this energy for Trump, but the Clintons and Obama are a-okay. Yeah, don't even fucking get me started on that.
If this were to go through, like, you're all on the chopping block, aren't you?
Yeah, no.
I mean, theoretically, not in reality.
Yeah, in theory, that's
but
the thing.
in legal theory, you're all, because you've all done this stuff, which is, you know, wait, save search off.
It's something. Yeah, it literally is something to do, Rob. That's the fucking problem.
I didn't want to see any. I don't know. I saw this picture of her on poll. Maybe it was fake, but I saw a picture of her that seemed to be a recent sexy
over
shoot.
the hill hooker.
Oh man, she's haggard. Like, look, she's also like in her 60s or whatever. She just looked, her skin was very saggy and low in collagen, right? I'll put it that way. So it was not a great look to still be doing nudie photos. And it wasn't nude, it was in lingerie, but it was like, woof, lady, I think it's time to stop,
Yeah, Brandy Love is far more attractive than Stormy Daniels.
But she's a prostitute, she doesn't know anything else. Low energy skin, saggy baggy.
Also, Brandy Love is a Trump fan.
Yeah.
Brandy's like an uber conservative chick. And it's like, yeah, you do porn, and you see her like, you do pornography and you're a big Trump supporter? Like, win-win. It's like...
Prosecutors called the alleged payments part of a conspiracy to undermine the integrity of the 2016 election. It is a legitimate no-you. Was that Goebbels? Was it Goebbels who said always accuse your enemy of that which you are guilty? I think it was Goebbels who said that.
The thing is that I find so ridiculous is that that's a federal crime.
Mm-hmm.
You have no evidence for that. That's what you're trying to prove, one. And two, you're a local prosecutor. You don't have the authority to even do that.
Right.
So what the hell do you think? What the hell are you doing?
Well, we're going to get into why this legally
makes
absolutely zero sense. I've got the document that was leaked. And again, I don't think it was supposed to come out.
I heard that he leaked something that isn't technically legal. I didn't see the leaked document.
Somebody leaked it. I've got the document, and if whoever did it though is potentially guilty of a felony, right, in and of themselves, which is really funny. So he's accused of orchestrating a payment of 130,000 or 104,000 pounds to porn actress Stormy Daniels 12 days before the 2016 presidential election, which he won. It was allegedly made to prevent Miss Daniels, real name Stephanie Clifford, from discussing a sexual encounter that she said she had with Trump at a hotel in Lake Tahoe in 2006. Except now Stormy Daniels says no such thing ever happened. They never had sex. So why was he... The thing is, whether or not they had sex, he was paying her... Yeah, to not make shit up about him. She signed an NDA over this. It wasn't that he just paid her hush money. This was done through a lawyer. Technically, it was Trump's lawyer who paid her this money so that she would sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which she then broke. One person has violated a legal agreement here, for sure, and it's Stormy Daniels.
Hey, look, a sex scandal right before the election. Like, the Democrats would never do that.
No, they would certainly not organize and orchestrate a sex scandal from a woman who has since said that she never had sex with Trump.
Wow.
In which case, why did he pay you money? You know what? He paid you money to not go out and talk shit right before the election because he knew. I don't think it would have actually damaged him, by the way.
No.
I mean, because she went and said all that stuff anyway. And people were like, Chad, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, look, Trump had sex with models. Like.
Yeah, 3 of 12.
Yeah.
I know that Trump didn't pay her at all. It was Trump's lawyer who did. As I tried to clarify there. Trump's lawyer paid her to shut the fuck up. Trump allegedly didn't even know about it, and she says they never had sex. So what does any of this matter?
More money because she still hasn't shut the fuck up.
Well, I know.
That's the irony.
Right, yeah, 3 of 12. Yeah, they have said that Trump didn't even know this happened, that it was all his lawyer's prerogative. Trump had no idea about it, which is very possible that it was like, oh, this prostitute, you know, porn star is about to say that you cheated on your wife with her, by the way, like 10 years prior, but whatever. Okay, that you cheated on your wife with her 10 years ago, right? 2 weeks before the election. Yeah, it might affect the outcome. It might have really soured, particularly women's opinion of Trump, and a lot of Christians who, even though like no one ever thought that Trump was some kind of moral paragon, you know.
Although looking at it now compared to everybody else, he actually does.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's fucked up. I don't know what you think.
Mm.
Just based on persona and the way he carries himself. Hold on. 1 second.
Having a sandwich.
Yeah.
Or something. What are you eating? Dang it, dude.
Oh, wait.
He's also...
Wait.
Why did you tell me this?
Give me a second. Oh, there we go. The one thing that I think breaks people's brains, if you just look at how Trump behaves, how much money he has, and the fact that he's in real estate, he's done all this like areas where you would assume shadiness, you know, television, WWE, pageantry, real estate, and you attach a sort of slimy caricature to the person who's involved in this kind of industry, and the fact that there's nothing, like, it doesn't compute.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make... None of this makes any sense. We'll get into more where it doesn't make any sense.
The fact that he's squeaky clean just makes people like, oh, how? How is that guy... How do you have nothing on this man? Look at everything he's done. What do you mean by that? Just he must be bad. And like, he actually hasn't done anything. Like, no. That's the bit that breaks people's brains. That he actually hasn't done anything.
Maybe he didn't actually have sex. It's very possible he says he didn't have sex with her. She says she didn't have sex with him.
Yeah, so who... Okay, so
his lawyer...
The
same thing with this other woman, Karen McDougal, who he also allegedly, or, you know, well, and by that, it's, again, his lawyer paid her $150,000 to also not talk about it. But it was the same thing. The lawyer paid these women to not go publicly try and make him look bad. Same thing with this third allegation about a $30,000 payment to a Trump Tower doorman who claimed to have a story about Trump having a child out of wedlock.
No one believes that.
They're not paying you to shut up. They're paying you so that you go away.
Yeah.
Because it could cause problems for his reputation. And for someone who's huge like Trump, the reputation does mean something, right?
It is really
So his lawyer just tried to not cover it up, to take care of these clearly, like, no evidence behind any of these allegations, but these just claims from going public right before he's about to enter a presidential election or the actual voting process. You know what I mean?
It is really
it's
screwed up.
It's not that complicated.
It's really screwed up that you can, in this society, just say, hey, look, I can just make shit up to you to just get money out of you.
Right.
Because that's essentially what you do. It's like,
because otherwise you'd have to take them to court for defamation, and defamation cases are incredibly hard to win.
Yes.
They're basically impossible to win because it's really difficult to prove that someone was lying maliciously.
Yeah.
It's way easier to just pay them money to go away.
Yeah, and
now,
that's why they do that.
I don't know. Would you guys rather have Democrats? Would you rather have Trump deal with it the way that the Clinton family usually deals with someone talking about them, which is 2 shotgun bullets to the back of the head in a tragic gardening accident?
Allegedly.
Allegedly? It keeps happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
So many people keep having these really weird accidents all around the Clintons. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Because that's how the Democrats take care of their problems.
Yeah, it's more like 50 of them. And it's like, 1 or 2 I can dismiss as maybe coincidental. When it's like nearing 3 digits, like, No, I just no. Like it's getting to the point where there's a phrase for this. It's called Clintoned.
Yeah. Gary
That's-
Thomas for 5 says, if no one else is going to say it, then I will. Trump may have cheated on his wife. Yeah, he probably has. But at least the person he cheated with was the age of majority. Yeah, that's also a thing a lot of Democrats can't claim, as we'll get to in just a moment, actually, as it refers specifically to this Trump case.
I don't believe that he did.
I don't know.
I don't think Trump's the kind of person to do that, to be honest.
He's really, really hygienic. He's a germaphobe. I would find it. That's what was always so weird about the PP allegation, right? That he had Russian prostitutes piss on him and on and Obama's bed and stuff.
Piss on the bed, yeah. I don't believe he did any of that shit.
I mean, how does that make any sense? Like he's the reason he eats at McDonald's is because
it's sterilized.
It's so sterilized, which doesn't seem to make sense, but it's the kind of thing a germaphobe would think, right? Like, this is all mass produced, so there's less of a chance for it to be contaminated with anything. I mean, he's clearly, like, you can see it. It was difficult for him sometimes to shake people's hands, even. You could tell that it makes him uncomfortable a little bit to touch people.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can understand, but it's still...
Arkansas. Is that what it's called when you get Clinton? Arkansas? I get it. Pretty good.
Oh, God, that's really good.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has said a total of 11 checks were issued for phony purposes, and 9 of them were signed by Trump.
Hold on a sec. Someone said, isn't urine sterile though? Yeah, not out of the cooch of a Russian prostitute, I don't think.
Yeah, also, I'm saying if you are a germaphobe, it's not going to make a lot of sense necessarily. That again, like, Trump. That's why Trump eats at McDonald's, is because it's all uniform, you know.
That, and he is a strange
Maybe
man.
too loyal of a personality too. Maybe I don't know about that. He's certainly a ladies' man, that's for sure. But I think more than anything, he would have a problem with. He wouldn't want to have sex with a prostitute because, well, it's essentially a porn star who's had sex with a lot of men.
Well, the only difference is a camera.
Yeah, I guess so. But you know what I mean? Like, right. I feel like he would be grossed out by that and find it unhygienic. But I don't know.
I'm a sex worker. It's like,
it's a little solipsistic. Oh, right. I'm being a little solipsistic because I don't know what goes on inside of Trump's head, but you can sort of understand some of his personality, and I have a hard time believing that he had sex with all of these prostitutes. Did he have sex with other women? Maybe. But I find it hard to believe that the actual... Right, but I would find that more believable than these actual porn stars, right?
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
I don't know. So they're saying that he signed, his name was on some of the checks. Trump's former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, has said the ex-president directed him to arrange the payments. Michael Cohen is the one who paid for it, though. He's the one who paid this money in Trump's name, which, I mean, he probably just said, like, hey, I'm taking care of some legal stuff for you, sign this, and maybe Trump just didn't look at it.
He just looks slow, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like John Kerry's offspring.
Like I said, it could be possible that he paid her this money in terms of he knew about it and is not because now they're saying, of course, and I guess I've been saying for a long time that Trump had no idea this was even happening. And this was all just being done by Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen says Trump knew about it, which makes this complete he said stuff. And there's probably no way we'll ever know the truth behind that. Because of course it's in Michael Cohen's best interest to say that he didn't do it. Because he's probably a little afraid he'll get in trouble, which he won't, by the way, because he's a traitor. So he's been a traitor to Trump. So, you know, the Dems like him. I don't think maybe they would go after him. I don't know. Like this whole move is so strategically brain dead. I don't know. But there's who has any clue who knew or who said what? Because it's private conversations between a man and his attorney.
Why do you think that is?
How are you going to prove this?
No. Why do you think they suck at handling him?
Right. Yes. I know that the charges don't imply that Trump knew, but I'm saying that even if you were trying to bring a better lawsuit, and even if you could never, because you couldn't prove that, you could never prove whether or not Trump knew this. I think that's why it's not in the it's not in the charging documents. Because how could you possibly ever prove that Trump knew about it? Check out Walulu's comment. Gray Zone covered her running as a front for LA governor in like 2008. She was deployed to attack incumbent governor. Really? I didn't hear about that. Interesting. I have not read that Gray Zone article. Let me go find it though. Hang on.
Yeah. Razor Fist made the same argument.
Oh, did he? That she's just a complete political...
She's a political tool.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, by the way.
Interesting. Yeah. Hang on, I gotta go DuckDuckGo because.
Yeah, she has a history of doing
Seriously?
some really, really shady shit. So I wouldn't at all be surprised.
Right. Yeah, she's been a political tool for a while.
I think she's.
Oh, it's going great.
I think by the sounds of it, she's been a tool for a long time. She's just only now getting into politics.
Right. Huh.
She's been a tool of the dumpster variety.
I really can't find this article. Stormy Daniels.
Orange Man Bad, yeah. Orange Man Bad has been the battle cry of a bunch of morons for like 6 years.
I don't know if you can find that article. Actually, I don't know if you could. Here, if I give you mod powers, or if anyone's got it,
You can me mod
can
powers,
DM
what
me.
the fuck?
Because I cannot find it. I searched the
What's the
Gray Zone
article?
website. I don't know. I can't find any evidence of it on Gray Zone whatsoever. So I'm not sure that's the right website.
Based spoon? What did I say that's based?
Sorry about her being a
dumpster,
tool,
or-
I think. Oh, she called herself a cum dumpster,
No, she did that, which was fucking weird.
which we'll get into here for a second. Yeah, sorry, I can't find that. Maybe it used to be on Gray Zone, but it's not there now. If you control F on you search Stormy Daniels, it's an article that says Israel massacres unarmed Gaza protesters shooting from 2018. I don't know if it says anything about Stormy Daniels in this. That's the only thing that shows up. This is the only article on Gray Zone.
I don't know how
About
this is all gonna end. It could end like everything else to do with Trump, which is just, you know, the last couple of drops of the really cranky ass wank.
Yeah.
Just like everything else. Like at this point in time, I almost feel sorry for the people.
Yeah, well,
We've been
Lulu,
trying
if
to
you
get
could
them
find
for
the
like
title,
6 freaking years.
it's weird. I can't. I absolutely can't find this.
Aiden, these people have political blue balls for like 6 years.
Yeah, I know, right?
And they're never gonna bust a nut. Like, it's never gonna happen. He hasn't done anything. You jackasses, get over it. It doesn't matter how utterly insane or
Trump
deranged
Tower's
you look.
been evacuated. Huh.
Why?
Well, they've been protesting in front of it for a couple days now, haven't they?
Why? What are they hoping to get rid of?
They're just protesting because that's what they do.
That's because they don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene was there. And stuff.
I'd like to thank Dems for giving a landslide victory to Trump. The Schadenfreude will be so sweet while I eat my popcorn. Yes, hopefully not in the dark in South Africa by the time comes around.
Oh, this is real breaking. 7 minutes ago. One floor of Trump Tower evacuated over domestic incident. Says CPD.
Domestic incident? What the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea. Let's
Pull up the story.
Yeah, let's listen to it. Yep. It will play.
People going to Chicago's Trump Tower have been calling the
Chicago,
newsroom
not in-
today, asking about the heavy police presence outside the building. WBBM's Rachel Pearson tells us police are saying it's the result of a domestic incident.
An allegedly armed woman walked into Trump International Tower and Hotel just before 11:30 a.m. SWAT officers were called to the scene and quickly closed off access to the downtown skyscraper. Steve Papendick lives in the building and says he was just doing some housework when he decided to step outside for some fresh air.
And I was quickly escorted away from the lobby out of the building and was told not to come back until it was clear. I asked several times what was going on and they wouldn't acknowledge. But I would assume that whatever was going on was serious, and it was best I just left and didn't come back.
Chicago police say the domestic incident is isolated and that there's no threat to the public. Despite its location, there's also no indication the woman's actions have anything to do with former President Donald Trump.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Who the hell is
alright.
going to believe that?
No, it's clearly political, and of course, it's a woman.
Well, to be fair, if you told me, hey, look, there's a crazy woman in New York of all places with a gun, like, okay, well, it is New
Yeah.
York. I'm not exactly surprised by that.
Right. Warblade for 5 ZAR, which is South African, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Dems for giving Trump a landslide victory. The Schadenfreude will be so sweet while I eat my popcorn. Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, I said it's psychological reactance. It's the Streisand effect. It's whatever you want to call it. By the way, even if I believe this is true, even if they did basically find Trump guilty on all 36 counts, he could
still
still run. So it's because he can always appeal all of it. You know, it's just ridiculous. 136 years in jail is what they're trying to face him with.
By the way, the thing is as well,
maximum sentence. Yeah.
This is a really big gamble that everyone in the mainstream media, like the only people that was like the most fervent nutcases on like CNN or like Salon maybe, like, but it's funny. I was reading Salon yesterday, and that one Amanda,
God,
the
I'm
woman
sorry.
who wrote the, oh yeah, I know, right? The one woman that Amanda something who wrote the like fucking stupid book, she thinks that this is a good idea, which is funny because one of her that gay black writer, even he said this is a bad idea.
3 says if you think the regime will let Trump win, you're utterly deluded. I mean that's very black-pilled, but yeah, I think that's probably correct. It seems pretty clear to me that the regime is closing in. I think this whole democracy project is dead, but that's why we're monarchists. Nice try, I guess. Gary Thomas for 5 says, I found it hilarious when Bragg said they didn't tolerate crime in New York City when crime in the city is getting dangerously close to pre-Rudy G levels. Well,
how would they stop him?
I have an article on that. Yeah, crime in New York City has skyrocketed, and in fact, yeah, I'll get to it here in a minute. We can see just what a great district attorney Alvin Bragg is. And Gary Thomas for another $5 says, when I heard about a domestic incident at Trump Tower, my first thought was Trump Tower now accepts Section 8 vouchers. Oof. And wait, again, it's Trump Tower in Chicago, not the one in New York. The one in New York they've been protesting outside of, though.
Yeah. Well, that means Bragg's still not going to get in.
Mirror says, active shooter woman with assault rifle enters Trump Tower. Yeah, that's it seems to be breaking news, though. It's from this morning at 11 a.m. in Chicago, which would be Central Time. So
illegally, yeah, of
a couple
course.
hours ago, yeah. Like
it's not
4 hours ago.
It's not going to be as bad as what people think. I don't
Probably
think
not. But it's probably just someone. I mean, it's very possible it's just a random domestic incident. About
No, not that. This whole thing overall.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like for goodness sake, like it's like clearly look. The one thing I do find that's really hilarious about all of this is the amount of fear of Trump this portrays is great. Which means the regime is a lot more vulnerable than it gives itself credit for. You don't behave this insanely unless something is wrong.
It makes them seem terrified of him.
That's
right?
because they are.
Getting Rome vibes. We're gonna. I even have something to bring up about Rome later in the stream.
What, King Trump?
Yep. No.
Emperor Trump. I don't mind that.
No, one of the last emperors in the fall of Rome was a transgender person.
Well, we're not in danger of that, so.
I'm just saying, like,
unless you're kind of press secretary.
I didn't know about this emperor either, by the way. Yeah, Bill told me about him today, and I looked him up. Yeah, he's an unironic word. Well, he didn't call it ball, but it was is the Arabic equivalent. Yeah, but yeah.
By the way, this weird Trump fist thing that he does.
Yeah.
I realize he looks like he's knocking on a door, and I can't unsee that now. It's like every time I look at him now, it's like he's knocking on a door. It's 2024 doors when he's knocking on. Because he's got the nomination. He's got the GOP nomination.
Also, the Dems desperately want to see him cry, or something like that. But he's been completely stone-faced.
Yes.
The entire time.
Business.
They say here, stony-faced Trump initiated the courtroom without saying anything for his arraignment, where the formal charges were disclosed. He was not in handcuffs during the proceedings, and then he gave a speech last night. He sat with his hands folded as he entered his plea, flanked by his lawyers. Not guilty, Trump said. Which there is no case. Trump says there's no case. There is no case. He called the indictment a witch hunt. It is.
It is.
Motivated by lead investigator Mr. Bragg, who is a Democrat, and backed by George Soros, which is just true. Let's get into some of the other stuff. That's the basic details. I think most people know him now.
The thing that I do find funny about Trump is because I was watching Lionel Nation.
Orange Power Fest,
and he said Trump is not a normal person. He described Trump as like anti-gravity life or something, because nothing that you do sticks. Like if you punch him, he likes it. And you can't just say, "Oh, look, I'm going lenient on you." Like, if you're indicting me, what the hell do you mean? Like, okay, that's true. And you can't handcuff him or give him a mugshot because he's gonna meme the shit out of it.
Yep.
But it's also the thing that you need to do if you're gonna try and hit the guy. which is not going to work. So you're just stuck in this endless loop of no matter what you do, he's going to make you look like a chump. It's like, just stop. Like, anything you do, like, it's a zero-sum game at this point, and everything you do, you're failing. It's great. It's just like, I think Trump is sitting there loving the shit out of this. Because
I'm sure he loves the attention. I don't think he feels afraid.
What has the news been about for the last, like, 5 days?
Oh, nothing but Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been...
His name is everywhere. I don't even know where Biden is right now. He could be dead for all I freaking know.
I saw him laughing about this.
Well, that's because he doesn't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the hell is going on in his own freaking White House, probably.
Obviously. DRT is King for 5 says Trump seems to be the Grokeye brothers. This is a ramp up to Civil War times if they go full Grokeye brothers on Trump. You know, I don't know enough about the history of those two. Let's see. Let me see. What does it say? The Grokeye brothers were 2 Roman brothers, sons of Tiberius Sempronius Gracchus, who were consul in 177 BC. Tiberius the Elder, tribune of the plebs, and Gaius the Younger was tribune a decade later. They attempted to redistribute the anger publicus, the public land hitherto controlled principally by the aristocrats, to the rural plebs and military veterans. Oh, doing a little redistribution of the wealth. And in addition to other social and constitutional reforms, achieving some early success, both were assassinated by the Optimates, the conservative faction in the Senate that opposed these reforms. Yeah, tried to do a little communisms there. Interesting.
This is going to end really badly.
I can't... Look, I don't know exactly what the outcome's going to be of all this, but I can tell you this. Trump's not going to jail for 136 years or whatever it is.
You'd be lucky to get him in jail for 136 hours. Fucking minutes, fine.
Yeah,
never mind hours.
Here's the document, right? So you can go over it, but every single one, how is 34, I believe, 34 counts?
You know, Bragg didn't even say what Trump is actually, what law even broke.
Well, we're going to get into that, because here's how this works, right? The idea that he has, by his own admission, Alvin Bragg has invented a new legal theory to try this, which is that the way that it's going down. Alvin Bragg?
No, Soros.
Oh yeah, but what? I mean, it has happened. But so the crime is falsifying business records in the first degree in violation of Penal Law 175.10 of New York penal law. And it marks all the different times. It's saying basically that he paid this money that all this money was being paid to Stormy Daniels and to other people, right? In order to cover up a crime, which is what makes this go, because just paying off a prostitute to leave is a misdemeanor, right? Which wouldn't mean anything. So the way that Alvin Bragg is trying to upgrade this and has upgraded all of these to being felonious charges instead of just a series of misdemeanors for paying people to shut up when they could very well be lying, and rather than go through the entire year-long legal process of suing someone for defamation if they lie about you. It's way easier to just pay them. If you're a billionaire like Trump, it's way easier to pay someone to go away than spend years in court. Yes, and cheaper ultimately than to spend years in court suing them if they lie about you. It's easier to just pay them to go away.
And she lost as well.
Yes, she did.
She had to pay him.
I know, because she broke the NDA. She signed a legal document saying she wouldn't talk about it, and then she talked about it anyway. Daka-Daka-san for 5 says, the walls are closing in. That dastardly drumpf is done for this time. Yeah, I know for sure. Any day now. 2 more weeks.
I can't hear that without hearing that name, without hearing Robert Reich.
Yeah.
Because he's the first person I heard say that name, because Drumpf was his original, was his grandfather's name or something, but they changed it to Trump.
When he immigrated, from Germany. I mean, it is kind of a funny sounding name, I guess, but I don't know. It's not really an own. Yeah, for $10 says, win or lose 2024, MAGA can't be stopped. I think that's true. I mean, at least not any, like, that movement, people are really... The Democrats have decided that they are going to go full authoritarian and totalitarian, and they have no... and I would say fascist. It's funny they call everyone fascist, but you're talking about a complete and utter collaboration of big business with the government, which is fascismus for realsies this time.
Your ideology is with Nike and banks and Hollywood and literally every single fucking entity pushing your Rainbow Coalition shit. But yeah, you're the oppressed ones. Like, what crap are you smoking, you fucking
And
weirdos?
they don't care. These people and the people who follow them have been completely indoctrinated to believe that they're on the right side of history. So, and again, you know, like Bosch and some of these other like far leftists have said the quiet part out loud, which is that we are more moral than you, so therefore we should be allowed to kill you. You know, which is what I think, which is where it's ultimately going to happen. That's how that, you know, my new video is on the mere thought effect, and for years I've always I've never really understood because there's never been research on this, but there was research that's come out in the last year from a woman named Kaylee Decker, who I think figured it out. Social science has never had an answer to how does the media actually influence people, because there used to be a theory called the hypodermic needle theory, or the hypodermic needle effect. It's a pretty much completely debunked and disproven theory, which states that the media just injects opinions into people. There's no evidence for it. However, there's really consistent evidence for something called agenda setting theory, which is originally identified by McCombs and Shaw in 1971, who found an astonishing correlation of 0.98 between what news stories the media reported on and what stories people thought was important. Now, you go to Kaylee Decker's work that she's been conducting in the last 2 years or so, since she's been finishing her PhD, and she's using something called construal theory and really bringing that into understanding of how people form opinions about news stories and other groups of people. Using construal theory, she, I think, figured out, and also something called the mere thought effect, that when people think something is important, like a news story is important, they think about it more, they ruminate and obsess over it, and then use it to reaffirm their pre-existing beliefs about something. And I think that's how you get what has happened, say in Nashville. That person likely was sitting there hearing on the news every day, transgenocide, it's happening right now, and decided, well, I have to do something about it, because they were ruminating about it. And that's how you go from agenda setting. The agenda is, we're talking about transgenocide, not a hypodermic needle, but how it goes via construal theory, mere thought rumination, into action, into crazy beliefs. I know this is boring you, but like, but I think I figured it out. Which has been a like 100-year-old conundrum for the social sciences of like, wait, if the hypodermic needle theory doesn't work, it doesn't exist, then what's the connection between agenda setting? There's something called cultivation theory, but that doesn't have great evidence either. I think it's this construal theory. I think this is it.
By the way, Super Manendorf is right. Like, if this works, it makes all NDAs in New York illegal. Like, holy shit, that would open up a wormhole of complete shit shows.
Right,
like,
yeah,
that would...
That's right.
That would just unleash hell.
Right, yeah.
How many businesses would have to go through that shit?
You're well, not all NDAs, but you're saying, hey, let's settle this out of court. I'm gonna pay you, so out of court, we don't have to take this, so none of it ends up on the record. You will sign this NDA, we'll take care of it in private. I'll pay you, you know, normally if something like this, if a woman is saying, you know, some woman comes out and says like, I'm gonna tell your wife that you had sex with me, a prostitute, and you have the money to deal with it and really want it to go away, it could be like, okay, whore, here's what we're gonna do. Say you won't talk about it to my wife, and I'll pay you $10,000. Sign this legal document, because by the way, this again was handled legally, just in private. Hollywood's over if this makes NDAs illegal, or makes it so you can sue people for signing an for asking you to sign the NDA. She didn't have to sign the NDA. It was her choice to sign an NDA and get paid for it.
Jake says, I think Genghis Khan was the greatest monarch of all time. Wasn't born a great house, became a self-made man. I think you can say he was the world's greatest rapist.
His body count certainly was the highest.
Yeah.
How many? It's something like a tenth of people on Earth are related to him. I think it's maybe the 16th. It's a huge number of people.
Yeah. That may be the most screwed up thing I'll ever say live.
Yeah. F for 10 that says, oh yeah, we read that one. Blood G for 2 says, pain is not the crime, the filing is.
Yeah, that is actually
this
true.
Filing, yeah.
Yeah, technically speaking, that is true. Although no one fucking believes this shit.
I don't think it's again. Alvin Bragg has had to invent a new legal theory because the only way that this makes it
Assuming
a
equal
felonious.
application of the law.
Again,
Yeah,
remember,
fucking right.
such to a degree that it is a crime to pay someone hush money, that being just paying them and telling them to shut up and intimidating with them, not having them sign an NDA and paying them to handle it outside of court.
Aiden,
You could,
say debunk.
debunky.
Because someone messaged me and just said they like how you say that word.
Debunky. Debunked. Okay, in the worst case scenario of saying that he was paying her hush money and ignoring the whole fact that she signed an NDA and this was just them handling this issue outside of court, which then she had to pay him for because she broke the NDA. Let's not forget that. Let's say that he did break the law and there was, it was just actual hush money. It's also not a crime to pay hush money, I know, but in the way that they're saying it is because he paid hush money by using falsified business records. Huh?
He would have said, remember the House and Senate have a special fund to deal with women who do this, and senators and congresswomen. Really?
I wouldn't be shocked. I didn't know about that, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I would not be shocked at either.
Again, the legal theory of this and what would make it a crime, right, is not paying the hush money in and of itself. It's the claim that he was using campaign funds to do it and then falsified his business records. That's what the claim is. That's why it's falsifying business records, that he was using campaign finances as his personal piggy bank to pay off people and tell them to shut up. Again, hush money, not that's what the actual filing says.
Oh, because
it's right here.
I heard
falsifying business records in the first degree.
Yeah, I thought that he was using that as a means to then pay off the chick, and this was done as a violation of campaign laws because this is apparently interfering with the election. Like, what the fuck are you smoking?
Because they're saying he used his campaign funds to do it and then lied about it, and that's the problem.
Oh, come on, no one believes this crap.
And it's because, and this is the only way this is how they get it up to felony level. I know, it sounds like I'm speaking gobbledygook because this doesn't make any sense because, again, Alvin Bragg has invented this legal theory. Is that, okay, so he is using campaign funds to pay off people to shut up and not slander him and go sign NDAs, which they are signing legal documents, with an attorney that normal process. And again, paying hush money is not illegal either. It's this, okay, the only way that gets up that's the only way it becomes a misdemeanor is if he was misusing campaign funds and then lying about it in his filing records. That's the misdemeanor. The felony is that he's doing it with an intent to cover up another crime, but Alvin Bragg doesn't know what the other crime is and won't say what he thinks it is.
And won't say what it is either, yeah.
So that's, again, I know it took me like 15 minutes to go through this legal theory and try to explain it. It's because it makes no freaking sense. It's true Looney Tunes shit. So Donald Trump was preparing to do some other crime. Alvin Bragg doesn't know what the crime was, but Trump used his campaign finances, misreported on them saying they were his personal finances, which, I mean, it does seem like they actually were, but whatever. Even that's a misdemeanor, to tell Stormy Daniels to sign an NDA to not slander him in the public, which she then broke and did anyway. That's the clown's shoes level shit that we're at with this case. Nonsense.
What have we learned from this? Aside from the fact that Trump can break people's brains.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how
he's being prosecuted for not using campaign funds, so I have it backwards. Wait, so he's being prosecuted for using personal funds and not campaign funds? Which, that makes even less sense. See, even I can't, and I've been following this, even I can't fucking understand what the hell Alvin Bragg is trying to do with this. Is it for using, why would he get in trouble for using his own money to do it?
Yeah, I was under the impression that is what he did either, because I remember Glenn Greenwald talking about this.
Yeah.
And like, that's not, strictly speaking, illegal, so what the fuck?
If he used his own money, which he didn't even pay her, it was, again, it wasn't her, it was his attorney.
As far as I'm aware, the violation of the election laws is the fact that it was misfiled as means to say
false entry into the business records. That's what they're saying, okay. So they're saying it was... But here's the part that you can see. Here's the legal theory. With intent to defraud, intent commit another crime. So And that's this for every entry. It's to commit another crime. To commit another crime. Well, what's the other crime? This is the problem with the whole filing. Every single count, falsifying business records with the intent to commit another crime. What's the other crime?
We don't know. That's the
whether
we don't know.
Look, I'm not a freaking lawyer, right? So I don't really understand if it's more inappropriate if he spent the money from his own piggy bank or if he spent it from his campaign funds. It's either way. I think it's a misdemeanor. And with these,
it's misfiling. They're trying to say it's a federal campaign finance violation,
which should not be being prosecuted in the New York State court.
Yeah, that's the bit that people said is weird. It's like you don't have the authority to do this.
Right. If he has misused campaign finance to pay for this, and you have evidence of that, but I think now, I think that is right.
You don't know.
I think now they are saying that it's his own personal money, and that's also a misdemeanor. I don't know.
It's very confusing, isn't it?
If he's falsified records, I guess is the misdemeanor part.
But he has.
But again, upgrading it with the intention to commit another crime. That's how they're getting it to felony. At this felony level for this particular crime, it's a 1 to 5 year sentence, 5-year maximum for every count. And they I guess stopped at 170 years and thought they were good at 136, which I think is what they're actually asking for as a maximum.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, it's so stupid. Gary Thomas for 5 says...
It involves Trump, so you know it's going to be dumb.
Yeah. Gary Thomas for 5 says, I have to get some sleep, but have a good stream, you two. Hey, thanks. Also, screw the Democrats, but Bragg and that disgusting Lich King who controls them. Yeah, very true.
You mean Soros?
Yeah, I think so. Minnesota Fats for 5 says, hey, boss, I'm sick with a mean mother of a cold, but here's some shekels. Hey, thank you. Hope you feel better. And before I forget, happy Passover, everyone. Will there be an Easter stream? I don't know. I'm planning on cooking for Easter. I want to make a ham or something, but
I can probably do a stream on Rumble.
Maybe.
I don't know how or what I would stream on, but I can just do it for shits and giggles.
DRT is King for $5 says the senatorial class of Rome had seized the farms of the citizen farmers. They were left destitute since the Second Punic War, and the Gracchi weren't. Redistributing the land, the oligarchs of Rome had made the smaller family farmers unable to survive on their lands, making their large latifundias. I see. Oh, okay.
People want me to stream on Easter, by the way? If people in the chat say yes, then I will.
I'll look into that more because I don't know anything about that period of history. Bill might. Walulu for 5 says Jeezy video is U.S. opposition leader Donald Trump indicted Stormy bit at 11-minute, very revealing. Oh, it's a video. I thought it was an article. Okay, that would be why I couldn't find it. Let's see if I can find this real quick. U.S. opposition leader Donald Trump indicting Stormy Daniels. Find this.
This entire week has just been really just.
I know. Here it is.
For lack of a better phrase, fucky wucky. It's like I've never just seen.
I didn't find this either.
I just never seen one person make so many people's heads explode.
I can't find this either. I literally typed it in quotations. U.S. opposition leader. What?
I feel like I'm in a speakeasy right now with the music in my ears.
Sorry, you don't have to send another super chat. I legitimately cannot find this video. Let me try Googling it or looking up in DuckDuckGo.
I can probably find it later.
If you think you can find it, I mean, hang on.
I'm sleuth.
I literally DuckDuckGo. There's not a single result in DuckDuckGo for that. For that quote.
Again, can look for it later.
No. Yeah, sorry. I don't know where this is, but wait.
You find something?
Holy shit, this was almost impossible to find. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, let's we'll go to the 11-minute mark. Okay. Wow, this was really fucking difficult to find. If this was from 14 hours ago, why was this so hard to find? Thank you, Lulu. 11 minutes, very revealing.
Suppression is a bitch.
Wow, this was fucking buried, dude. And it's only got 13,000 views. This was buried. Let's see what they say real quick.
Up to this sort of thing by being sleazy. We haven't even seen the indictment yet, but I wanted to introduce something that's kind of a a novelty now at this point from my former career as a writer for the Daily Beast. Can you believe it? The neocon
Wow.
Daily Beast that constantly attacks us. I worked for them for like a year until I started trying to do reporting from Palestine. And I was I just happened to be in Arizona, and I heard that Stormy Daniels was performing by the airport at a strip club. She was kind of unknown at the time, but she was trying to, she was running against David Vitter, the senator, the Republican right-wing senator, and she was running to kind of embarrass him for his dalliances with sex workers. And so I thought I'd just go down the street.
Yeah.
I like reached out
Not
to her
new.
PR team, and they said, we'd love to talk to you. Just come down to this hotel in the lobby and Stormy will meet you.
Oh, that's not shady at all.
I got to watch a
No.
25-second ad here. So while we're watching that, I will just describe the situation. Okay, we can skip the ad. Here we go.
Plaza Hotel. It's Arizona.
That's me in
by the
2007.
airport. And I've learned that
I've gained
Stormy
some weight
Daniels,
since then.
adult industry actress and producer, is staying here, and she's going to discuss with us her potential primary run in the Republican primary in Louisiana against Senator David Vitter.
My name is Stormy Daniels. I'm in the adult film industry. I've been with Wicked Pictures for about 7 years as a contract performer, writer, and director.
Ugh,
So you're
waved. You were a whore. Okay. You were a.
Hey, look, Aiden, everyone has to
Porn
polish
star.
their CV.
I guess so,
In her
right?
case, polish something else.
For sure.
Getting involved in the Louisiana Senate race.
Apparently so. I had actually nothing to do with it. I was notified about it through a friend who sent me a link saying, "Oh my gosh, you're a genius. This is so awesome." And I looked at it and I had nothing to do with this, but it is genius.
Yeah.
I wish I could take credit for it, but actually I can't. It was a group of guys down in Louisiana that put the whole site together. And I have people put sites about me all the time, and I usually shut them down pretty quickly. But this one
There's
was
just a
really
whole
well done and I found it pretty
operation
amusing, so I kinda
Behind
just
her
went with it.
already
So
in 2000.
Would you
I guess
enter
it's
the Republican
2010?
primary against David Vitter?
I haven't decided yet. I've never been involved in politics before, but
And you will be
apparently-
now.
She was getting pushed into politics.
You
Yeah,
know,
it-
by
as far back as
really
2010.
shady, creepy people, yeah.
Yeah, weird.
They are
It's almost
calling
like
it
she's an
duty,
operative.
And if that
That's weird. That's real weird, isn't it? I don't know.
that's what it takes, then that's what I will do.
I mean, it's interesting now in the current moment because she's talking about being called to duty about a political operation being set up, and she's kind of being put up as a prop and a spokesperson, and it's obviously a partisan Democratic operation, and she's soaking in the PR and the possibility for getting her brand out.
Well, it's better than soaking
And,
something
David
else, I suppose.
Vitter made
Uh-huh.
headlines when
So many
he
fucking jokes in this.
confessed to being a client of the DC Madam, to paying for sex with several high-priced sex workers. Do you think his hypocrisy is fair game in the race?
And that's what I was going to say. I personally have no issues with his sexual activities or
course
his
you don't.
sexual preferences or whatever
Yeah.
it is that he wants to do. My issue with him, I mean, who am I to judge, right? My issue with him
Well,
is
at
that
least
he's
she's
a
got
hypocrite.
self-awareness.
And,
Yeah.
you know, call me what you will, but you can't call me a hypocrite.
And would you
Yeah,
challenge
I can. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
we can.
Yeah.
David Vitter to a debate right now?
So yeah, it goes on, and I had a long talk with Stormy after the interview. But what's interesting here is, I mean, when you think about
He makes that
blackmail
sound
and
so much more shady.
how
than it
much,
is.
you know, Jeffrey Epstein compromised powerful political people. Donald Trump was around Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton was around Jeffrey Epstein. You know, I have questions about Stormy Daniels. She talked to me afterwards about how she is a really committed political activist. She was involved in liberal causes at the time. She was, you know, pretty articulate. She was not a stupid person, although she was, you know, it was kind of demented talking to her and her producer about like how he, you know, she got him a vasectomy for his birthday and like,
What?
What?
Why?
So, like, her like porn star producer is there pushing her political campaign in 2010?
I don't
What
even know
the
how.
hell, dude?
just the weird culture of porn, kind of disturbing. But here you can see she's already being injected into partisan politics at that time. Then Trump proceeds to go ahead and initiate some kind of relationship with her. I don't know how he got to meet her. And this is where it's led him, and she's raising tons of money online right now, and she's emerged as this kind of hero of the liberal world. So I thought about that in that random interview I conducted back in the day.
Wow, that was a really good find. Yeah, it's from 14 hours ago. That was a really good find, Lulu. That's crazy.
How the hell did you find this?
I mean, yeah, Grayzone has a pretty big channel. It's weird that I couldn't find this video. Like, I had to really search for the for the title of it. It took a minute. So that's interesting, but
So yeah, she's got a really shady history going back a while. See, this is
she's a paid-for political actor and has been for over a decade, it sounds then.
Yes, which is also why I don't believe that Trump shagged her.
Yeah, I don't know what... He knew her in some way, I guess, but I don't know if he shagged her. Anyway, so that's the...
Hearing you say shag is quite amusing.
I'm just reusing your language.
I know, but it's like hearing Americans say twat if they can say it properly. Then most of them can't.
What do we say? Twat?
Yes. Like
twat sounds awful.
Yes, but there's no H in that word. It's
Why is
twat.
it twat?
Yes. Yeah. Well done. See, why get the rest of your fucking population to say it that way? I don't know why you say twat. Like, no.
Again, I think there's a lot of things that I think Americans are missing out on. I really think we need to adopt the word bint.
Diet?
Because I like... I'm talking about words.
Manners?
Yeah.
Not committing homicide?
I like. I really have. I've always enjoyed the word bent. I've enjoyed it since I first heard it when I was watching Search for the Holy Grail back when I was probably like 3 years old.
The first time I heard that on a TV show was Faulty Towers, where I don't know who he was talking to. Yeah, but Basil calls one of the guys, I think, you cloth-eared bitch.
Yeah, well,
God damn, that's a good phrase.
Of course, in Holy Grail, it's if I walked around saying I was an emperor just because some moistened bint had lobbed a scimitar at me, they'd lock me away. And I was such a good line. Some moistened bint.
I would say
Stormy Daniels certainly is a moistened bint.
I would say the best line that made me laugh, as far as I think the cream of the crop of satirical play is the Faulty Towers episode where they have that nearly deaf woman, Mrs. Richards. And she says to him, like, I expect to be able to see the sea while they're looking at a window. And he says to her, you can see the sea. It's over there between the land and the sky. That is just the way he delivers that line while looking at the window is like that is top satire. It's so English. Just the way he says that. It's just
British,
oh, it's so English. It's brilliant.
Again, speaking of being a moistened bint, Stormy Daniels reacts to Donald Trump's arrest by taking pride in being a cum dumpster. Her words, not mine. In the wake of Trump's arraignment...
This is not a good look for you.
I know. Daniels took to social media to address the major news, as well as criticism for being the key player in Trump's legal troubles. Y'all keep calling me a cum dumpster like it's a bad thing, she wrote with a laughing emoji. It's definitely more fun being under my sexy man instead of under arrest. Oh, I think has she deleted it?
Did you actually write that?
Wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
this tweet?
Yeah, like Penrose, weird flex. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, really weird flex. Proud cum dumpster. I think she's deleted it because I can't see the tweet even when I. Yeah, jeez.
It's definitely 4 months than being under arrest. You don't know that. If you're Trump and you're trying to get publicity, being under arrest is fucking shit.
And it does make him, you're martyring him. You idiot. You idiot woman. I wish sometimes I do wish we had a soundboard. Because there's this, I've told you about this clip before, but it's from some old, like, radio show. It's a sports announcer. And he's got this woman calls, I think he mostly was a sports announcer, but he had, like, a call-in show on the radio. And some woman called him up. I don't even remember what she was talking about, but he just lost his shit at her. I've only heard it because it was played on a podcast I listened to, Your Mom's House. And the way he says it is just like, you idiot woman! You idiot woman! And he's got that great American radio announcer voice, and it's so good. But you idiot woman! I love it.
In an aggressive way, or?
It was just the way he said it. It was so funny. Well, she was an idiot woman. She was like droning on and on about something. I can't remember what it was because it was so pointless. Yeah, woman moment shit. that, you know,
By the way,
just like the way you said it.
Can we just be real? This guy, Alvin Bragg, like,
Alvin Chipmunk, yeah.
yes, this is fucking true. He could be black or Mexican depending on how drunk you are.
He could be what?
He could be black or Mexican depending how drunk you are.
I guess so.
Because when I
God
first
created
looked,
woman to test the infinite patience of man, bruh. Based.
that's not a bad slogan, actually.
No, it's not. So here's a.
Can I put that on a T-shirt?
You should. So this was my take on it. Like immediately after hearing it, I then again went in and tried to. Like I said, I'm still trying to piece together the legal theory behind this, which of course he has invented.
So are people watching this?
I think I've got most of it, except for that I was wrong that it was that he was paying for it not with campaign
Alvin ate the
funds.
chipmunks.
Alvin ate the chipmunks.
Yeah, he's not exactly a small boy.
No, he's a large lad.
Yeah.
Here's him trying to explain it though. Let him explain his legal theory. Okay, it's hard to hear this woman, but she's or guy. Sorry, it's a man. Says the indictment does not specify what those crimes
You just
were,
misgendered
what
him, well
laws
done.
were broken. I couldn't remember if it was a woman or dude because it's really hard to hear. But then I remembered that when he stands up, it's a guy. I don't know. I don't want to assume his gender, their gender.
And they were done to conceal another crime, but the indictment does not.
So he asked that question. That the way that it's stated in the document over and over is that it was with the intent to conceal another crime, but it doesn't specify what those crimes were, what laws were broken. Listen to this fucking swerve.
Say what those crimes were. We are assuming perhaps that they might be election related. I'm wondering if you can
We're assuming they might be election related.
specify what laws were also broken.
Right. So let me say as an initial matter, the indictment doesn't specify that because the law does not so require.
Actually, it does. It does require you to do that.
It does, and what a terrible argument, by
That's
the way.
a great opening line, by the way. Already
That
you
I-
prove you don't know the law.
That I don't have to do it?
Well done.
You do. One, you do. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. And two,
Confusion of the highest
that's
order.
a terrible
Yeah.
argument. Even if you didn't have to, it's just like, I don't have to tell you shit. I mean, what? You're trying to put the former president of the United States away for 137 years, and your argument is, I don't have to tell you shit.
In my remarks, I mentioned a couple of laws, which I will highlight again now. The first is New York State election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means.
To promote a candidacy by unlawful means. It
Also,
would make it a...
hold on a second. Robert, ChatGPT is run by a bunch of commies. I don't give a flying shit what the hell they think about monarchy.
Sometimes ChatGPT, if you can find some of the ones that are like that have been unbroken, like the prior.
They don't have a
prior
filter
versions of
one,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
They will actually, yeah. I've asked the one before, what is their opinion of monarchy? And they gave a pretty based opinion of monarchy.
Nice.
Yeah, they basically just said that democracy is shit, and the one good thing about a kingdom is that the centralized power of a king can make dynamic changes in a way that democracy can't.
This guy looks like Morpheus never left the Matrix.
Oh my
Various
god,
Dan.
he totally does.
Yeah. And
Oh god.
Slosher says Aiden would like this as a scientist. Men test ideas, women test men based. Oh, hey Flamenco, how's it going? And yeah, if you guys enjoyed it,
He totally does
consider
like
leaving a like.
Morpheus. He's I can't unsee this now.
Morpheus, Orpheus, yeah. I'm trying to remember that rap. Anyway, so so his argument is maybe it has something to do with promoting himself in an election, but how was him paying her to not slander him and she signed an NDA to not do that and then she broke it, promoting himself? It seems like kind of the opposite. I don't know. Continue.
I further
Oh, it does,
indicated a number of unlawful means, including more additional false statements.
Like what?
Like what?
Including
Which false
statements that
statements?
were planned to be made to tax authorities.
False statements meaning the tax
I
authorities.
also noted the federal election law cap on contribution.
You were a state apparatus. You've got nothing to do with federal election law, you dumbass. You don't have the authority.
Contribution limits. What? You know what? Let's look that up. What is the contribution limit? What is the campaign contribution limit in the state of New York
Also,
for
he's-
a
he's-
DA?
Also, he's running his own campaign. He can donate how much ever he wants. It's his own money.
Right. Well, not to individual candidates, because there are campaign.
Yeah, but
that,
he is the candidate. He can use his own money to do whatever the hell he wants. That's not illegal.
let's see.
That's not violating any finance laws.
New York State Board of Elections total number of enrolled voters in the candidate's party in the district, excluding voters in inactive status, multiplied by 5 cents, but at least 1,000 and no more than 50,000. What is the absolute campaign limit for, say, a district attorney? This is per person, right? Non-family limit.
He's using his own money, so he can do whatever he wants.
but this is from individuals, from a organization. How much can an organization give? Non-family limit. State Senate. What is he considered? Oh, okay. Primary. All other public offices and Supreme Court justices. Non-family limit is total number of enrolled voters. Okay. No more than $50,000. Alvin Bragg, you received $1 million for your campaign from a organization funded by George Soros. You have violated campaign fund, how much money you're allowed to receive from a single donor. Also, it looks like somebody in your fucking office most likely dropped this document, which is a felony. Look, it took me 5 seconds. Look, I could be wrong on that in terms, because I don't know. I just looked it up, but it sounds like you can't receive more than $50,000 from a single donor for campaign finances if you're running for to be the district attorney in New York.
Is that a single person or an organization?
It said as an organization, non-family entity.
Oh yeah, he received like over 100,000.
It was $1 million.
Oh.
Which I'll get to right here. Well, let's finish his statement, and then we'll play that. He's only got a little bit left. If that's true, if I read the law wrong, it's possible, but I'll get to it in a minute.
Why weren't there those crimes charged? Why wasn't he charged with those crimes?
Well, I'm not going to go into our deliberative process on what was brought. The charges that were brought were the ones that were brought. The evidence in the law is...
No, there is no... So he won't explain. He won't freaking explain why.
Because there isn't.
He will not explain why, because there isn't any reason. So Trump claimed this, right? That this is over the document leak, right? And that it was potentially felonious.
It's just because it is.
I don't know, but this is what Trump has claimed. Again, not a lawyer. District Attorney Bragg just illegally leaked the various points and complete information on the pathetic indictment against me. I know the reporter, and so unfortunately does he. This means he must be immediately indicted. Now, if he really wants to clean up his reputation, he will do the honorable thing as district attorney and indict himself. I don't know if him leaking this. Let's see. Falsification of business records to be prosecuted, but Bragg's office raised the charges to Class C felonies. I'm not sure if it would be a felony for him.
One down below. Trump's lost a lot of weight.
He has, yeah.
Trump's actually, apparently Trump's on keto. He's getting in shape.
Oh, good. I thought you hated keto.
Well, I don't. Well, okay, well, technically speaking, I do. But if Trump is going to use it to get in shape and kick the fuck out of people, he could eat fucking bugs for all I care. I just want him in fighting shape and kicking the shit out of people. Especially minorities. Sorry.
I don't know if this is a felony for sure. Trump has claimed it is, of him leaking the document.
At this point in time, I would trust Trump with the law than these fucking people.
We'll ask a lawyer about it, but...
do we know one?
Yeah. You want Mercada? Yeah, I'm sure he's covered it. Well, I don't know if he's covered it yet, but I'm sure he will cover it if he hasn't covered it yet. But let's see the Soros stuff. Is it in here? Where is it?
It is amazing how Trump looks.
Yeah.
How the hell? Okay, there is something unusual about Trump. He's the only person I know that went into politics, the oldest person ever, and he comes out looking exactly the same.
I know, it's weird. Right?
It's just, it's bizarre. Really? You think so? I don't think Trump is vain enough to do that.
He definitely goes to the tanning booth. Come on.
I don't think he does. I think that's makeup.
Oh, Mercado was on Crowder yesterday? Oh, that's awesome. I didn't have to know. I missed that. I'll have to check that out. Superman for 5 says they must be trying to count Cohen Cohen making the payment as campaign donation, even if Trump pays him back. I'm guessing so. Yeah, Viva Fries probably covered it. They would be the people to ask about whether or not Trump's claim there that what Bragg has done is felonious, as it carries any water.
Robert Barnes has been on top of it.
Of course, Barnes has, I'm sure. But Twitter knocks Washington Post analysis of whether Manhattan DA is Soros-backed. This is so fucking funny.
You know the community notes that's that
Yes.
Twitter has been pushing out?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember when Moldbug was on Voice?
Yeah.
And he said, what Twitter needs to do is become a new prestige network with monarchical power with democratic volume.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the community notes is?
It's kind of what community notes is looking like.
Yeah, I'm like, huh. And the fact that the president gets fact-checked by communities in real time, oh my god, I have an erection reading some of those notes. I'm not going to fucking lie.
It is hilarious
oh my
when they get called out.
god, it is fantastic. Did you see that?
Speaking of
Did you see
fact checking? This is so funny.
Did you see on NPR?
Mm?
Musk made it so it reads state media.
Oh, I know. Yeah, NPR is now
Oh my
is now
God.
U.S. state-funded media.
Yeah,
which is-
according to
I mean,
Musk.
which is true, by the way.
Yeah,
How
technically
is that
speaking,
false?
it is. But it's just so fucking funny.
That now it's put NPR to the same level as
Russia Today.
Russia Today. Great
Oh
job.
my god, it's beautiful.
Crowder mentioned today he'd like to have Rackets part of his Mug Club crew. Yeah, that'd be cool. Rackets can do, he's doing fun on his own, as is Crowder. But yeah, it would be cool if they did every once in a while did a segment where they had Rackets come on and
No,
do some legal stuff.
Trump
Well,
is vain, but I don't think he's that vain.
To be fair, he also does have half Asian lawyer Bill Richmond on call to give his legal analysis.
Who is my favorite monarch? Frederick the Great of Prussia.
Nice pick. We get out that often. Ask that
Yes.
often. I often say Catherine the Great.
Or Alexander Hamilton.
I'll pick the woman, right?
Who was the one in China? I can't remember her name
the
now.
crazy woman?
Yes. You could pick
Wu
her.
Shifan or something like that?
I can't
the
remember her
crazy
name
one?
now. Yeah, but
Something like that?
yeah, China only had one female monarch in their whole history. And
Yeah, who was an absolute lunatic.
yes, but she was a
Wu
very
Shifan. Wow, how did I get that?
yeah, she
I was right.
She was a very effective monarch though. Like she was actually
Yes, because everyone was terrified her because she would cut their heads and or dicks off.
I don't know about that, but I know she was quite egalitarian, pushing women into the forefront. She was also a ruthlessly fucking power-hungry woman who killed her own sons. Yeah, okay, you did some good reforms, but you also killed your own bloodline because you don't want anyone challenging your reign. Damn.
Yeah.
Yes, Hamilton.
So,
yeah, Hamilton called or Moba called Hamilton America's first monarch because he ran the treasury.
Yeah.
Interesting way to look at it.
Alfred the Great, that's a good one.
I have the
So here, let me get into this article though, because I want to show you this hilarious Washington Post fact-checking failure. Since you were speaking about the fact-checking stuff, so Washington Post fact-checker Glenn Kessler saw himself fact-checked by readers on Twitter after he released an analysis. Yeah.
Thank you.
Claims that contradicting claims that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is Soros-backed. Kessler pointed to several claims from former President Donald Trump in recent days amid Bragg's prosecution of the former president. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who was handpicked and funded by George Soros, is a disgrace. Kessler quoted from Trump, who made the comment last week. I knew the price I'd have to pay for running a campaign that promised to take on the deep state, the open borders lobby, and the Soros money machine, Trump also said, which Kessler included in his analysis as well. Kessler added that the theme of calling out Bragg for his association with controversial liberal billionaire philanthropist, one could say, I guess that's one description, George Soros, was something espoused by other Republicans.
I would have said
not just
crook.
Trump. Yeah. But Kessler insisted in his analysis this focus on Soros by the GOP was misplaced and Soros never directly funded Bragg. Wait till you see this quote. Kessler ultimately gave the claim 3 Pinocchios, meaning there's significant factual error and or obvious contradictions according to the post-Pinocchio scale. However, Kessler did concede in his analysis that Soros indirectly supported Bragg by contributing to a group that endorsed the Manhattan DA during his election. But his detail on this indirect support from Soros was a bit lacking. Twitter readers apparently felt. Soros donated $1 million to the Color of Change PAC, the largest individual donation it received in the 2022 election cycle, days after it endorsed Bragg for district attorney and pledged more than $1 million in spending to directly support his candidacy, the extra context from Twitter readers added.
I love fact-checking.
I do when it's true.
Yeah, but
So But they're still running with this
From
shit. Say,
people.
well, no, if he's not funded by Soros. Okay, so
Google it.
Soros gives this organization over $1 million, and then they take that almost the exact amount of money, if not the exact amount of money, and donate it to Bragg's campaign.
How do you have a Hungarian billionaire openly funding your political apparatus? I like no one bats an eye.
I mean, like,
That's
yeah,
like
sure,
literally
you can put
foreign
your
interference in your governing apparatus, and no one says shit.
Twitter CEO and billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk apparently appeared to similarly find Kessler's analysis flawed. Musk appeared to criticize Kessler's use of the word incendiary to describe the GOP's claims about Bragg's alleged connection to Soros. Incendiary. Bruh.
I like how he just laughs at everything. It's very healthy.
It must be. Well, if you don't laugh at this clown world, you'd cry, like I always say.
To be fair, it is very easy to laugh when you've got $250 billion.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's like, fuck you money.
Wipe your laughing, crying emoji with $100 bills.
I just made $250 million by the time it took me to write this.
Exactly. So, okay. So when somebody tells you, if you hear this shit on Twitter, that saying that Alvin Bragg's being funded by Soros is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, no, it's fucking not. It was an indirect donation, but the money was pretty much 1-to-1.
Yeah, it just went through a middleman.
Don't be pedantic. Yes, it went through a middleman so that George Soros could write it off on his taxes. Oh, okay.
Not that he ever pays them.
No. But let's see what a great district attorney Alvin Bragg is.
It's just the man who did like 25% of
terrifying rap sheet of the 10 worst why can't I get rid of this video? Get away. The 10 worst New York City criminals who were repeatedly released by Manhattan DA Bragg as he focused on the Trump indictment. Could you read this for a minute? Because I gotta clear my throat. Hang on, let me zoom in.
Fucking tiny. Alvin Bragg has been criticized for his soft on crime policies that many career criminals back on the streets to terrorize New Yorkers. Yes, because that's something you should really give a shit about when you are the district attorney of a fucking state, you pleb. Despite spending months going after Trump, Bragg's team failed to take down some of New York City's worst offender repeat. Like, the fact that you can't even take down an actual fucking criminal, but you want to take down Trump when there's less evidence, like...
Including several with over 100 arrests.
Wow, you really suck at your job, but you think you're going to take down Trump. Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, it just shows his priorities. He doesn't care about crime. Actual criminals who have been arrested 100 times in New York City just lets them go. A Dutchman they call it anti-Semitic, but they don't call it a lie. Well, they did call it a lie, and they gave it 3 Pinocchios. Superman Orfer 20 says, Forbes fact-checked evil man punches his cat on camera, rating false. Well, he did hit a cat, and yes, it was on camera. Examining the records, the cat was actually adopted by his wife, making the cat technically not his. Yeah, thank you, but that's exactly that's the fact check, right? That's the exact freaking fact check they do for Alvin Bragg.
Yeah, so the punching was basically just not his.
Yeah, well, Soros didn't directly give him money. He gave it to an organization that then directly gave that money right back to Bragg. But 3 Pinocchios, okay.
I didn't shoot the man, I just pistol whipped his eye socket out of his face. Okay, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. And see, the New Yorkers who survived the city during the pandemic remember the long months when Bragg's office became a revolving door for career criminals who hit up the streets in broad daylight and had many residents fearing the subways. While Bragg's office was preparing to indict Trump, he let violent reoffenders continue to wreak havoc. Well, then again, he is black. In August, I'm not you apologizing for that. In August, Mayor Eric Adams revealed that the chat's gonna go like, Jesus fucking Christ, boom, calm down. The same 10 criminals made up nearly 500 crimes.
10 people, 500 crimes, and 60% of them were still roaming the streets.
Sorry, the reason I'm stopped is my mouth is open. Like, what the fucking hell?
Oh no, I unbelievable. This is the guy calling Trump a criminal. He is you can just commit crimes in New York. Look at this. So murders and shooting victims are down. Felony assaults are up. Oh, wow. Although crime is currently the same rate as last year, many New Yorkers remember the times during the pandemic where crimes were rampant and left many in fear. Because they weren't arresting anybody, essentially.
I was going to say, the main thing is because they're not arresting anybody, so I'm not surprised that they're down.
Yeah. In February of 22, Bragg walked back a little on his policies, sending out a memo that made it clear to all his staff that any crime involving a firearm would be prosecuted as a felony, reversing the stance he had taken just a month before. I remember when that happened. That he totally flip-flopped. Because people freaked out at him because he originally said that he was basically trying to let people get away with owning illegal firearms and using them in crimes. Because he was just trying to make New York City into, what's that movie?
Hellhole.
Escape from New York. Make it a giant, just a giant prison colony.
Basically, purge.
Yeah. Although crime is currently at the same rate as last year, felony assault continues to be heightened at 8.5%. Despite murder and robbery being down, 84 homicides and more than 3,500 robberies have occurred this year. It's April 5th in the Big Apple. As Bragg's office focused on indicting Trump, these career criminals ran the streets of New York, repeatedly terrorizing citizens and wreaking havoc. This is Harold Gooding, 53, has more than 70 arrests just for theft alone and has been taken into custody more than 100 times.
What the fuck?
And the DA is trying to prosecute Trump for a federal crime for something he can't even say with the crime, using federal crime laws about campaign funds. Maybe. Things that shouldn't be handled at the New York State level for a crime he can't actually name. God, I hate the Daily Mail for this kind of stuff on the side.
Boobs?
It's just nudity on the side of it, like clickbait. 53-year-old has already 15 convictions to his name, as well as 14 failures to show in court. Following his prolific crime spree, he has rocketed to #1 on the NYPD's list for repeat offenders following his torrent of thefts. Michelle McKelly calls herself a professional booster and told the police they wouldn't be stopping my hustle. 97th arrest. 97th. She was finally held on $5,000 bail after 101st arrest for second-degree assault after she allegedly kicked, bit, scratched, and spit on 2 NYPD officers in July 30th during an attempt to swipe paper towels from a Dwayne Reed in Harlem. Paper towels! William Rowland has a 30-year rap sheet, and his robbery charges dropped to petite larceny under Bragg's woke laws.
Man,
Decided to
$100
steal
looks rough these days.
Yeah, $2,000 worth of medication from a Dwayne Reed. I don't know what Dwayne Reed is. That a store?
Probably. Or a pharmacy.
Oh, it's a Walgreens. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Walgreens. Yeah, it's like a pharmacy and convenience store. $2,000 of medication from Dwayne Reed in January 2022. He allegedly filled a plastic bag with medicine and other items in the Lower East Side store. Female manager approached the career criminal before she saw him brandish a pocket knife. He was charged with first-degree robbery and criminal weapons possession, but had the robbery charge dropped to 2 counts of petite larceny, a misdemeanor. A judge told him he should feel lucky because of Bragg's new policies. I don't know if anyone would ever feel lucky standing in front of me in a courtroom, but you might reasonably feel lucky today, the judge said. Based on your record, you would have faced a long period of time in jail if convicted. The newly elected district attorney has new policies. You're not charged with robbery, you're charged with a misdemeanor here. Holy shit.
How? And guess what? New York has a spiraling high crime rate. I wonder why.
I know. His kids were sick. Aiden, you hate kids? I'm sure they were. Jamel Pringle is one of the most prolific criminals in the Big Apple with 167 arrests on record. Police had previously joked that due to the controversial laws that only offered bail for serious offenses, Pringle had amassed frequent flyer miles, according to the New York Post. A New York judge
have you noticed the name of all these people? Have you noticed the
Pringle?
theme? No.
Oh, they tend to be of the same ethnic background, largely.
Yeah. It's of the how can I say this politely? The heavily melanated variety.
Mm.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a correlation.
That's because the white man's just trying to keep the black man down. Alvin Bragg's just leveling the playing field. Come on.
By what? Leveling skulls on the ground?
Yeah. New York judge said in February 22 that, quote, "It would take me all day to go through this rap sheet." He was arrested in February 2022 for selling $430 worth of items from Rite Aid and was denied bail in August. they're all why are they all stealing from these pharmacies? Just weeks earlier, he was cited for swiping a tip jar on 102nd Street Cafe that had more than $40 in it. The second time he had committed the same crime. At the time,
You
Pringle had
stole
one
a
felony
tip
conviction.
jar.
Yeah,
You clearly,
what a
you're just a
scumbag.
klepto.
You're just a scumbag. And it's the second time he'd done it. Pringle had one felony conviction, 88 misdemeanors, and 39 citations for failing to appear in court. Rodney Johnson has gone to prison twice, but has nearly 90 arrests, was let go last week on $1 bail.
You just look like a criminal.
After Bragg's office knocked down his felony robbery charges to a misdemeanor, according to the New York Post, the DA's office cut him loose on $1 bail despite breaking the law for the past 35 years. He was charged with robbery after allegedly holding up a CVS and a Walgreens, again, more pharmacies, where he threatened workers with pepper spray when they approached him. He was originally charged with third-degree robbery, but the charges have since been dropped to a misdemeanor for menacing and petty larceny. Johnson also reportedly skipped out on a court-ordered intervention program 3 times in 2021 for a felony robbery case. He has a large rap sheet dating back to 2005 for domestic violence after allegedly threatening to kill his ex-girlfriend's daughter. He went to prison in 94 for robbery and again in 98 for grand larceny, state records report. These go on and on. I think you guys get the picture.
By the way, the chat is surprised that I say shit. Like, I'm not blind. I can fucking see.
I mean, well, here's an Asian guy.
Oh, wow.
Craig
that's really rare.
Tamanaha.
20-year rap sheet. Holy crap.
But the rest of them are all...
Yeah, China doesn't always hit its best.
Here's a Hispanic man. Nolan Gonzalez.
Yeah, you notice there's no white people.
Is this guy... Another Hispanic guy, Isaac Rodriguez.
Also, why is the chat surprised I say shit? Like, this is me. This is why you watch me.
Spicy stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing to notice and say the quiet part out loud that everybody fucking knows. Fucking hell, even fucking...
Feeling the internet was smut. Oh, you're talking about that hilarious... Oh, Animation Unlimited
Seal
is mad
was on that fucking thing.
I posted a really horrifying GIF about which had it had Danny DeVito from the episode of Always Sunny where he's crawls naked out of the couch, but it had him crawling out of Kim Kardashian's butt from that picture she took where she broke the internet. It was really gross. It's really funny. Break the internet, Kim. Anyway, you get the idea. Of course, this is New York City under Alvin Bragg. Republicans are framing the Trump indictment as an attack on white America.
No,
Senator
I think your
J.D.
policies
Vance
are attack on white America, actually.
Senator J.D. Vance's pushback, says MSNBC, against the Trump indictment is white nationalist propaganda.
That's because it is.
My God, MSNBC, you're absolutely fucking bonkers. Ugh.
Well, MSNBC is the is it the fucking Arab guy? Scroll back on top. It's like something with a Z is his name.
Christopher Goodney?
No.
No. That is the photo. Zashim Ali.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Ali.
I recognize his name.
Is he nuts? I mean, he might.
He's out of his fucking mind.
Well, he's worked for MSNBC.
Read some of that shit.
All right.
You don't have to read all of it, by the way.
Manhattan...
You'll get like 3 paragraphs in and you'll stop, and it's like, this is fucking cancerously retarded.
After a Manhattan grand jury voted to indict former President Donald Trump on Thursday, again based on absolutely nothing, Republicans in a district that is, I think, 3% Republican. Gee, wonder how that happened. Republicans came out in droves to describe the charge or charges as unwarranted and politically motivated by a corrupt prosecutor. I have proof of that, but we'll get into it out of the man's own mouth. But a number of them...
but you will notice the level of projection here is
of course.
Fucking astronomical.
Of course. But a number of them did it by blowing racist dog whistles that call attention to the fact that the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, is black.
I've not seen anyone
you just
say
kind
that.
of did that. You did just kind of do that, to be
yes,
fair.
That's what I'm saying. You're just going to see projection like a motherfucker in this thing.
But, like, well, no, I'm saying you just kind of point out that he's black. You did that. But
I mean, I pointed out that he could be Mexican for all I fucking know.
That's true. But look, the vast majority of us talking about Alvin Bragg is how it has nothing to do with his race. It has to do with the crazy legal shit he's doing that makes no sense. And that he's letting criminals run rampant in New York.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we've said about Alvin Bragg. And then that he got paid off. Again, that part doesn't. Not the fact that George Soros is Jewish. That's not what matters. It's the fact that he received over $1 million in campaign donations indirectly via George Soros, right? Well, complaining about Trump receiving inappropriately using campaign funds and receiving too many campaign donations or giving out too many campaign donations. It's absolutely ludicrously hypocritical. Hasselhopper for 5 says, you should feel lucky that the DA has lowered your charges to standing there menacingly. Yeah, pretty much. Did you recall Warmick's one, which is call them what they are, Spoon, lesser Africans? Oof. Thank you, Cormac.
No, I would just call myself superior African.
God damn it, dude. Fucking disavow. Every time. Because I'm here reading an article about how, like, nobody cares that Alvin Bragg is black. We care because he's a terrible DA.
Okay, I'm just going to say something, and I don't really care if this gets taken out of context. Is racial superiority a racial superiority thing? Yes. Absolutely. Because yes, for God's sake, every fucking race has something that makes them better than everybody else. It just depends on what the superiority is. Like, hey, look, black people in Africa who've like spent their entire fucking generations of tribe traveling long distances. Hey, guess what? Their genes are really good at traveling long distances. Like, no fucking shit. How do you think that happened?
You're talking about aggregates.
Yes, but like racial superiority is just like, what is your race particularly good at? Like, it doesn't mean that they're better than everybody else. It just means they're specialized in one thing because of like their environment. Like,
wait, is Spoon a boar? Are you?
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I don't actually know the difference.
A boor, yeah.
But I can't pronounce it. But
boor.
Yeah. Even Bill's doing it now.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like, why is it like if you look at like say for example Eastern European people when it comes to like strongman competition, they dominate. Why? Because like the cold genes give you strength. Like it's just a fact. Hey, look, the English are really good at governing. Yeah, and the French are really good at, surrendering and fucking doing revolutions. Germans are good at...
what was it?
The Dutch make good farmers, and the fucking Germans are good at engineering. So the Japanese. Like, every race has got something they're good at and better at than everybody else. Like, your racial superiority is just like, yeah, what is the one thing that your race or ethnic group is good at? And that's fucking it. Like, why is that bad? It's only because when people think superiority, they think fucking Second World War genocide, and that's basically fucking it. The rest of it's just stupid.
You could make some arguments about aggregates, but it never applies to an individual person.
You know what I mean? But like you look at but like you have to say like, hey, look, if we're looking at for example engineering, like oh look, like fucking Germans, German race is really good at this. Hey, which nation is really good at conquering? Like the British.
I'm trying to find this clip.
We can farm like bastards. The Dutch. I don't know what like why is this. Why is it's so bad? Like it just pisses me off.
Which is of course what France is. No, France.
Oh no, I thought it was. Yeah, here it is. I got it. Here we go. Okay. Since you said something about the French, you said they were excellent at surrendering. Here you go. 1 second. I think I can play like 13 seconds. I think I can do that.
No. France is a country you have to drive through to get to Italy. That's all it's for.
It gets better. Hang on.
All right? He's not going to like it. Look, the fact of the matter is, they've got better cheese, they've got better wine, they've got better... They haven't got better cheese. They are a bunch of treacherous, lamb-burning, work-shy peasants.
You see, it's comments like this...
Probably based James May.
This is the thing. This is why whenever I hear Americans say the white race, like, do you realize we were kicking the shit out of each other in the first half of the last century in 2 world wars? The idea that white people just get along because they're white is fucking bullshit and historically inaccurate.
Yeah. I just don't like talking about that kind of stuff. It's uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. It always just
doesn't make me uncomfortable at all.
Yeah, well, you're
We're not all the same.
Well,
yes.
I mean, obviously. But, again, I do like to speak in averages because I mostly study statistics. But yes. I still have to always point out that it is an average. It is a correlate. It is,
but who cares? Like, we know it doesn't mean everybody.
I know. I have to say it, though, because of whatever.
Because it scares the shit out of you.
Because this makes people really mad.
I'm not going to backpedal. I'll openly say racial
Oh, no,
superiority
Spoon won't
is the thing.
backpedal on this. No,
I'll
he won't backpedal
backpedal
on this. He talks
shit.
about it. Yeah, don't worry. That he won't backpedal on it.
If someone says to me, Spoon, that's racist, like, eat a dick. I don't care. What the hell are you going to do to me?
Yeah, like Europeans have been tearing each other apart for millennia. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, that's why I'm saying, like, anyone who says, oh, the white race, like, what the fuck are you smoking, you moron?
Yeah.
We kick the shit out of each other. Who hates Europeans? Most of the other Europeans.
Most of the Europeans, yeah, true.
Like, who hates other Africans? Most of the other Africans, because the biggest, like, the most fucking, like, you're most often all of human history, the people you had trouble with are people who live next door to you.
Yeah,
because of ease of access. Like, duh.
Yeah, I'm saying it's largely because of YouTube, but it's, you know, and just...
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
No, I mean, well, you can say what you want, dude. I'm just disavow putting my caveats on it, okay?
I'm not gonna disavow shit.
Although it is, you are true about the people next to each other hating each other the most. I mean,
yeah,
Asian
that's
people,
just human civilizations.
like East Asian people hate the shit. The amount of that the Japanese and the Koreans and the Chinese all hate each other is.
They didn't used to, actually. They used to get along quite well.
You might want to look into the history of Japan and Korea.
I did. That's how I learned this.
Like 1,000-year-long history, because it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, they used to get along for a lot of that. It was up until the Western interference made them fucking hate each other.
No, well, sort of, yeah. Yeah, probably mostly like in the 1800s when you start to get a lot of it.
Civil wars are the bloodiest times. Yeah, so like I don't really give a flying. This is why I said racism makes no freaking sense. Your racism is just like your region code.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one says, I hate this race because of just their skin color. No, you hate the race because of something associated with what they do. No one just hates people for their skin color alone.
Usually because you have some association with them. You know, in that mere thought research I was talking about, one of the things that the researcher Kaylee Decker Dr. Decker has found a lot of evidence for and was doing a lot of research on, and specific emphasis on it, was making up a group, a fake group, the Maharanians was one of the names of them, right? And saying the Maharanians are in a caravan and they're coming to the United States. Do you want to let them in? And the other group is called the Salabanians or the Salabans, and they're also in a caravan coming to the United States. Do you want to let them immigrate? Would you want to associate with them? Would you want to be friends with them? Would you want to do business with them? Those kinds of questions. And then they read that an American had lived with them for 2 years and gave a couple of just descriptive adjectives. Some of them were vaguely negative. They were things like, oh, they're impolite, they're kind of selfish, you know, these sort of things. And then some of them were positive of they're polite, they're generous. And that's it. These people don't even exist. But they found that when in Decker's line of research, and it's quite a lot of studies now, it's a whole lot. It's not only her dissertation, but then like she's published 3 studies now on it, which include multiple experiments each. That when someone just then thinks about that for about 5 minutes, they just think about the words, those basic adjectives that they've heard. They will then invent new adjectives they weren't told about those people, creating stereotypes out of thin air for a group of people that don't exist, which to me is probably indicative of they've never interacted with these people. It's just people are prone towards stereotyping. It seems to be kind of inherent in the human condition.
I don't like listening to you talk about this shit because it makes me realize that humans are like really peasant-like after all this time, and they're really easily manipulated.
I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy. Just tell them about the shit about a group that doesn't exist, and they will invent new stereotypes for the group that doesn't even exist. I think that's fascinating. Carlos Morengo for 5 says, Spoon, there is a white race when there are other races competing against you in the same area.
Yeah, but what if the other races are also white?
Which is, I mean, that's all of European history.
Yes,
again.
Exactly. But the idea that you will galvanize with somebody of a different race or like of your own race just because there is another race is complete crap.
Yeah.
Like that's how it works now. Like that's the fucking argument of America right now. It's that, oh look, we have a bunch of minorities and they have nothing in common other than they must automatically hate the majority white man.
No, you know what? Because this is going in a way that is making me sad and black-pilled, I am going to do a little white pill for a second before we get back into that.
Okay.
Which is,
how did I upset you?
Let me
stop being gay.
Because you know that I'm in agreement with you that the American experiment is clearly failed. But I want to find this. Where'd I post this?
Nah, you just need a monarch.
Right.
Get King
hang
Trump.
on. One
See,
second, where did
this
I
is
find
what
it?
happens when you
Yes,
have
here it is, here it
elections.
is.
You get morons in charge.
We'll go back to the Bragg thing in a minute because it is actually related.
You should just get one guy.
Watch this. Okay, where's the is this clip? Yeah, here we go.
Missouri State Representative Justin Hicks, a black Republican, fending off questions about his ethnicity from a Democrat lawmaker, all because he backs a bill against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Take a listen.
Why? I really just want to always reorganize that acronym into being DIE because it is.
Yeah, but that's the reason why I don't want to.
I know.
You agree with this DEI bill? And what was your reason for what?
Yes, I did say that I'm okay with the bill as it stands currently.
Can I ask you what you identify as?
Identify?
Ethnicity?
I identify as an American.
Not an African American?
Wow, look how she's fucking furious.
Like, not African American, like, no. Why?
No, I'm an American.
Have you been to Africa? No. Were you born in
I'm
Africa?
just
No.
an American,
Do you speak any
you
African
crazy
languages?
bitch.
No. Like, how the hell are you African then?
Right. Like, he's I love how it makes her mad, too. Like, she can't even wrap her head around the idea that he doesn't care more about skin color than country.
We should all be treated equally, but also identify by your
But
race.
also, we need to have all these, we need to constantly
Morons.
erase everything. I hate it. So there's my little white
I hate
pill.
these people. Because, like,
I
their
hate
entire
this-
rhetoric
I
was how
hate
they
this
behave.
mentality,
Makes
yeah.
no
I really
sense.
hate this mentality. I think that guy is a giga Chad, and
Yeah,
he's
he is total
based.
Chad.
Good for him. Awesome. So
I'd shake his
there's
hand
my...
and say, let's buy you a beer.
She can barely speak. She can't even say the word ethnicity.
I should tell you that you don't belong in any government capacity when you kind of, well, okay.
Yeah.
Racial
So,
differences.
speaking of which, so back to Alvin Bragg, and this insane article, right? The consistency of that response is yet another that the problem with him is that he's black. Again, we spent an hour and a half or whatever talking about the stuff he's actually trying to do that make no sense.
The main way we made fun of him is because of his weight, not because of his skin color.
Yeah, honestly, I think we made fun of him for being fat way more than anything else. For
We made fun
Alvin
of him because being named after a fucking chipmunk.
Alvin ate the chipmunks. Yeah, I got it. That's great. That was a great joke.
Thank you.
Oh, someone in the chat said that. Trying to steal that?
No, I said it
Appropriating
before.
chat's joke. Oh, did you?
I said it in a script that I wrote earlier today, so yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, sure. The consistency of the response is
Why
yet
would I
another
I don't
reminder
steal jokes.
of how the MAGA right will never forgo an opportunity to use racist innuendo to rile up its base and amplify its supporters' persecution complex.
What the hell are you smoking to
Irony.
write this shit?
Irony. My name is Zishan Aleem. Shortly after the
Zayshawn,
news,
like, oh my god, like, you come from a single motherhood with that kind of fucking name. Oh, come
shortly
on.
after,
No
I think he
father
might-
would name his kid
this-
fucking that.
Zishan. I think he might be Arabic.
Are you
Aleem.
sure?
I don't know. Let's look him up. Yeah, I think he's Arabic.
I stand by my statement.
I don't know. Does he say?
Oh god, does he have a Substack?
According to that woman, you better say what kind of hyphenated American you are.
Cancerous?
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think he's worked as an adjunct professor. Oh God, he's a lunatic. So ooh, that's not good. Shortly after the news of the indictment emerged, Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio tweeted, quote, "A week ago, a long video circulated of a lunatic harassing a family on the New York subway. He hurled racial slurs, the family was white, and threatened them." I saw that video.
Yeah, so did
Alvin
I.
Bragg thinks that the man should walk free and Donald Trump to go to jail for a fake misdemeanor. It's despicable. Well said, Mr. Vance.
I like JD Vance, he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or JD Vance if I'm going to abide by my posh accent.
It's unclear what video Vance is referring to. I remember seeing it. Or whether he's even talking. It was everywhere all over the internet. Why are you pretending like you... It went
it was available
viral.
for everyone to see, yeah. Like, the story wants to tell is the white civilization is under attack and a black man is helping lead the movement. Well, you look at the lack of arrests and or prosecution rather, and
In
yeah,
this
that
case,
actually
you're
is the
talking about
case.
a prosecutor who is actively letting criminals who have been, I don't know, it doesn't matter. There was an Asian guy and two Hispanic dudes in that roster.
Yeah, so it's equally representation. Except, there's no whites. Which,
hundreds of arrests. Just let go. $1 bail.
Yeah, and then there's
for violent crimes dropped to misdemeanors from felonies.
There's virtually no white Americans in the list, which
I mean, that truly is ironic, right? That truly is ironic.
Why do you think that?
This guy comes in, rewrites all of the laws, tries his best so that everyone in New York who commits a felonious crime gets it treated as a misdemeanor, and now has tried to invent a new legal theory to try a misdemeanor as a felony.
Meanwhile, a load of felonies get dropped to misdemeanors.
Exactly. Fascinating, right? He spent his time trying to downgrade actual felonies to misdemeanors and upgrade, at best, a misdemeanor, even then kind of iffy on the legality of if it's even a misdemeanor, up to a felony, using a brand new and nonsensical legal theory. Yay. What a fucking asshole. Yeah, it's unclear what video Vance is referring to or whether he's even talking about somebody who was arrested, and presumably many of Vance's hundreds of thousands of followers wouldn't know either, but the intended message is clear. This black prosecutor is letting people of color get away with attacking white people and trying to take down our most important avatar, Donald Trump. Well, dude, we just went over that he absolutely is doing that.
That's
you're a liar. I'm sorry, like I can't remember who asked us the other day. Was it who did I see talking about this? It might have been Adam and Sitch, who were that we need to come up with a term for really like this really particular Democrat leftist thing of pretending to be retarded. Because that is what it is, but it's just like, I couldn't find the video. I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm just a big stupid poopy head, but also I'm smarter than all of you. What? It's such an infuriating tactic of, I'm the enlightened leftist, but also I don't know anything about what I'm talking about because it's just so difficult. It's just, I don't know what the Republicans could possibly be speaking about. I hate it. I really fucking despise that behavior.
I would call it GFing.
People like Vosh and a bunch of these leftist debate bros do it constantly. It's their entire MO of pretending to be retarded. Oh, they did it like
No. Call it GFing.
GFing?
Yes.
As in
gaslighting fan.
Oh, gaslight. It is a kind of gaslighting.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah. Chronically incoherent. Bushter. Strangers to the truth is that what Rush called him. That's pretty good. But then they act like they know everything 5 seconds later, but just will play ignorant on anything that doesn't align with their ideology. It was just really frustrating. I have no idea what JD Vance could have been talking about. Well, you could have also looked into any information about Alvin Bragg and the fact that he has absolutely he's just turned felony laws in New York into, into misdemeanors. It takes 5 seconds to look that up. Weaponized hypocrisy. That's good.
He's not going to point that out because it would undermine the case of the whole article.
Yeah, you're right. That was it. Thank you, DJC 807. It was on Adam and Sitch's show, and Sitch called it performative stupidity. Yeah, which is pretty good. I did like that. I was trying to remember what he called it.
Oh,
yeah,
I think that's pretty good actually.
And that is it. Performative stupidity. And it's so I hate it, man. Oh, it's so obnoxious. Vance is only the latest.
Arrogance is pretty good as well.
Yeah. Vance is only the latest Republican to try and frame New York's criminal justice system as easy on criminals, who are always presumed to be people of color in this narrative. There wasn't a single white person on that list. There wasn't a white person on that list.
Wonder why.
I mean, it was an Asian guy and some Hispanic people, but the majority of the ones of the top criminals who were getting arrested 100 times and being let go back into the streets immediately under Bragg's changes none of them were white.
Yeah.
So
it's like
which you would call people of color.
Yeah, it's almost like how much of this do I have to see before I have to come to the conclusion that the quiet part out loud that everyone fucking knows that you can't talk about because for some reason it's racist to point out stats.
Did Destiny do that on Tim Pool this week, Dutchman? I heard a little bit of them going back and forth. Destiny is very he can often be very well. Where do you think Vosh and all of them learned it from? They learned it from Destiny, because he will pull that. Which I generally at this point I like Steven, but he will pull that shit. Because he's a debate bro, and he wants to win in an argument, so he will pull that performative stupidity, which I really think is beneath him, and he shouldn't fucking do it. Who?
Sam Cedar does that as well.
Oh,
Sam and David Pakman, oh my fucking god, it is their go-to for almost everything. Like, I don't know what you really mean by that. Like, motherfucker, a blind person with his head up his ass knows what the fuck that means. Like,
you know what I mean by that.
Stop this, you full of shit.
It's so, man, just like...
It makes me want to punch you.
Just slap you. Yeah, it makes me want to slap some sense into you.
Yeah.
In Minecraft, but you know what I mean? Like, just stop.
Do you think...
Like, I think really what it is, I want to shake them. Stop it. Like, stop being like, why are you like this?
Who do you think is better at spending their money? The individual citizens or the state? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, motherfucker, I want to punch your face off. Like, right now, with just you asking me, what do I mean by that? Like, really? The fact that you can't answer that tells me you're too stupid to engage in this fucking conversation.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Also, Darren Richards, AA/Morgoth called it playing the hatchling by pretending you were born yesterday. And of course, yeah, it's always, but it's always performative, because then the second that doesn't fit their narrative, then they say, well, do you have a study for that? And then they're an expert on it. You know, where's your study? Oh, you don't have a study this second? Well, I don't have one either, but I remember one, sort of, and here's the thing. And then if you do have a study, well, I don't have time to read that. They follow a fucking script
that reminds me
on
of
that.
Vosh.
Because Vosh follows that script, which he learned from Destiny.
When the first time I heard him debate Sargon on
God.
Adam and Sitch,
yeah,
it
that was
took him
terrible.
like an hour to actually say something factual, and because he couldn't even define what co-ops was for like the first fucking hour, and he didn't, by the way, and because he thought Sargon didn't make a compelling case, by the way, which he did, and he then just goes like, well, you can't identify any problems. I am agreeing. I think I won this one. I'm like, this is the guy that everyone thinks is so smart. This guy's a fucking retard. Like, who?
I know.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I did see you said hatchling first, Patricius. I just wasn't familiar with the context of it. But yeah, Vosh, like, sorry, I mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, it's in. Well, this is the same thing this guy is doing. Is this performative stupidity, this playing the hatchling, whatever the good quote for it is. You know, I would just say pretending to be retarded, but it's the same. It's all the same thing.
This is what I said when people say you should read both the right and the left. If you read the left now, you will just be misinformed. Like, there's nothing to be gained from reading the shit. There really isn't. I read this shit all the time, and like, I don't believe I'm better off mentally. I don't believe I'm more informed. I'm just more depressed and annoyed. And I can say that reading the shit. Like this is what I do every fucking day. And after a while, like, I need to stop reading this because this article, I think I read like the first 2 paragraphs and I went, this is a waste of my fucking time because this is just bullshit.
Well, no, it was a waste of your time to read off stream. You know what I mean? It's funny to read on stream because we can make fun of this loon.
Yes, but also the chat's like, my God, we were surrounded by retards.
Yeah, I don't know how much more I can tolerate of it, but we'll see. Vance is only the latest Republican to try and frame New York's... Oh, we've read that part, yeah. Never mind that New York doesn't have a high crime rate by national standards.
That's not saying much.
What? Yeah, that's not...
Yeah.
What do you mean by that, by the way? What do you link to here?
It means the national average is high and New York is slightly lower than that.
New York officials say more police will make subways safer. That's questionable. What does it have to do with what you... Okay, was there some citation? Oh, God. Sorry.
Imagine having more police in the subway and thinking this is not going to make it slightly safer. Like, what?
It's just another... Is this also by him? No, Hayes Brown. What's this guy's name? I can't stand him.
Oh, also Hayes.
Is his name? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Oh, right. I'm so sorry.
Shut your face. It's not Chris Hayes, is it?
Chris Hayes, is that his name? He's got such a baby face. So what, is this just an
article? Ask the chat will know.
Yeah, Hayes Brown is this guy who wrote the article, but...
Why the hell are your parents hating you to the point where they're naming you with a surname for a fucking first name? Why would you name your kid Hayes?
No, well, they always say never trust someone with 2 first names, but I love Ron Paul, so I've always been skeptical of that claim.
Yeah, but Ron is the first... That's short for Donald, isn't it?
Well, no, they're saying 2 first... I heard that you don't trust people with 2 first names.
Oh.
Yeah, Destiny got Sargon channel banned. Not going to forgive him for that. Yeah, Destiny's done some really shitty stuff. Destiny threatened to sue me at one point in time.
What do you expect? His fucking hair is blue.
I don't know what he's doing with the blue hair thing.
His hair looks like fucking cotton candy.
Yeah, if you do you, I guess, whatever. I don't know. I'm not gonna read this whole article to explain his claim. Maybe you should have just pointed to. We just looked also at the crime is identical. A national crime rate by national standard, or crime rate by national standards. Really doubt that. Has long had a draconian criminal justice system. By what metric?
Maybe it's because the crime rate was really high. And that's why.
Eric Garner.
Yeah, who was the previous person that cleaned up New York?
What, Giuliani?
There you go.
Yeah. And it's being run by a tough-on-crime former cop.
And what happened to New York under Rudy Giuliani?
New York prospered.
Exactly. It's almost like you need to be tough on crime when your city is full of criminals.
See, I agree. I figured that was actually the explanation, Michael, is that Destiny said, I like having blue hair because it triggers people, which honestly, based, understandable. That's a pretty, okay, fine. Like I said, I don't care what he does, but the blue hair is distracting. It is weird to see a, man in his, I think Destiny's 3 or 4 years older than me. So see a guy in his mid-30s, which I can't talk shit. I have platinum blonde hair. It's grown out, and I just ordered some new bleach to bleach it again back to white, pure and white.
And you think I'm the one that says some spicy shit?
I'm just joking. I am actually joking with that, since we're on the topic.
You don't want to be pure
Never
and
mind
wise?
Never mind that Vance has no way of knowing what legal evidence is being marshaled to charge Trump with a fake crime. Well, we do now, don't we?
Because it is a fake crime.
Yeah. Well, we could have known anyway. He published this a couple days ago, so. The facts are beside the point. That is true for you. Yeah. You don't care about facts.
That's your entire ideology. Never mind this fucking case.
The story he wants to tell is that white civilization is under attack and that a black man is helping lead the movement.
Well, that's technically true.
Oh my god, this article. God, thank God it's almost over. Can you take over? I can't stand this idiot.
Okay,
please.
Some right-wingers also push the narrative that the indictment represents the U.S. descent into a third world political system. Well, that is true.
Yes, we are officially a banana republic. I'll agree with that one. Yeah, I'll stand on that.
Donald Trump called the indictment third world prosecutorial misconduct. This is true. Representative Paul Hussar from Arizona took the sentiment a little further with his post on Truth Social. This is how third world politics from Soros DA, who needs to be investigated. This is clear and brazen political persecution. Sorry. Yes, I like the way that you don't debunk this. You just say
you just say it and then act like it's. They do this a lot in left-leaning articles. They'll just quote a conservative and be like, "Wow,
look how."
Can you believe they said it?
And
it's like what? What you now have to explain. You have to explain. I know it's difficult for you. But you have to explain how he's wrong. Well, maybe he does in the next paragraph. Let's see.
Yeah. It's not surprising that figures such as Eric Trump and Gosa are using the politically provocative term third world. Well, no, that's just a description of the third world. That's what they do.
Description. I mean, they also called it a banana republic, which is what this is. This is banana republic here.
And that's going to be racist to somebody, by the way.
Oh, I don't care.
Welcome to my world. But what's striking is that they are attempting to undermine and racially code Bragg's that no one mentioned his race but you.
No one. You're the one bringing up his race, dude.
I like the way that the right, the left, thinks the right's the one that talks about race. You openly embrace identity politics to the point where you nominate people to the Supreme Court and vice presidency just based on their fucking race and gender. Please stop this crap. You're full of shit.
It's infuriating.
Yeah, it's also massively retarded. Using your term for reserved developing countries in the global south. Okay, but that is the way the politics are run. It's also substantively. I don't see that word very often. Yeah. Just a silly analysis.
Oh, substantively.
Yeah, sorry, it's not a word I read every day. Just a silly analysis, as my colleague Hayes Brown pointed out, holding current and former leaders accountable is a basic function of any democratic state. Yeah, it's just that you've never done this ever, by the way, so please shut the fuck up.
Right.
You can see the many trials of former Italian Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Yeah, so you basically go to a different country. Well done. That's not making your case. Oh, look, we hold people to account. So we do this so well, I have to do a different fucking country that doesn't even speak English.
Right. What the?
That's a really shitty case.
This is just so. This guy's so up his own ass.
Yeah, and also Berlusconi was found guilty of like having sex with younger girls. Like, oh my god, he's Italian.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you expect? I'm gonna insult everyone today.
Yeah, you're just gonna go full insulting everyone. That's Bill's favorite pastime. Thank you, Bill, by the way. No, Bill, you love insulting everybody. You're an equal opportunity racist.
No, I'm not.
Really? Pretty much, yes. Bill,
We should get Bill on a Rumble stream one day. We can just let fly.
Bill, who do you hate more, the English or the Dutch?
Familiarity breeds contempt.
So which? You're friends with several Dutchmen at Lloyd's. Why are you looking at me so scary like that? Oh, were you thinking about the Welsh?
They're all VC when the bombs explode.
Oh, fuck.
Bill
I love you
terrifies
too,
me
Bill.
sometimes.
Yeah. And then just said eat shit. Continue.
Let's see.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, this didn't spring out of nowhere in the past. Trump has called Bragg a Soros-backed animal. That's not even a dog whistle. That's just blatant racist. How's that racist?
Soros-backed animal. Yeah, they always do this. Like,
he would say
they'll
this
be
of
like,
any
"What-
prosecutor
what do you-
or
what do you mean-
district attorney, regardless of
this
race.
is this kind of what do you mean by you people type shit. You know what I mean? What
Like
do you mean
people
by
who suck?
why do you think that why is it inherently blatantly racist that he called him an animal? That means that you associate black people with animals, right? Trump didn't call him a monkey, did he? He called him an animal.
That's offensive to monkeys, by the way.
I mean, like, if Trump had called him an ape, you could maybe throw that in, right? You know what I mean? If Trump had called him an ape, okay, you might have a leg to stand on. But he called him an animal. If I was gonna call
I
another,
find
if
that
I heard,
offensive, to be honest.
and if I heard someone call someone else an animal, the animal that would come to mind most readily is a dog, because that's the most common insult, isn't it? That really for women, that you're a dog, you know?
Or you're a bitch.
Right, exactly, which is a dog. So I mean, yeah.
Is that why? Is that where the word bitch comes from?
Aiden, to be fair, do you think this is racist? I don't know. Maybe.
No, I don't think it's too racist.
I think you have to be. Again, if I hear someone call someone else an animal, if he had called him an ape, I would be like, yeah, wow, okay, that's fucking racist, okay.
I would have said it's base as fuck.
But then I'd say, all right, you've got a leg to stand on with the racism claim, right? If he'd called him a monkey or an ape or something, an animal, I don't know, yeah, or a cow. That's a very common one too. If you say an animal, particularly for insult women, and she's a cow, you know.
It just means
I
you're
don't
big
know.
and fat.
Yeah.
Moo.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's blatantly racist.
Yeah, it's not.
Nah, I'm not feeling it.
Racialized animals. Opposed to flagging Soros, who never given money to Bragg. That's a lie, by the way.
Wait,
invokes
lie.
the
We went
specter of
over
a
it. Well,
shadowy Jewish force
okay. He didn't give him money directly. Let's not get any Pinocchios on the stream. He just donated over $1 million to an organization that immediately turned around and gave it to Bragg. Okay.
Yeah. See, the point of flagging Soros, who was never given money to Bragg, yes he did, invokes the specter of a shadowy Jewish force pulling strings from behind the scenes. Fucking somewhere Kanye's ears are perking up.
Yeah. Well, Kanye says he loves Jews now because he watched them.
Kanye doesn't love Jews.
What was the movie that he watched? Chad, do you remember? He watched the movie with that 21 Jump Street. He said he watched 21 Jump Street the other day, and now he loves Jews again.
No,
It's just like, oh my god. Sorry, I'll just put this
so
on
the
the
right could
background.
have
while we-
suggested that corruption is to blame for the Trump indictment. That actually is what you stated at the beginning.
I could just put this on here, just in the background, real low as you read this part. Go ahead. Continue.
How the hell am I supposed to read it with that? It's very distracting. Without using racist and anti-Semitic subtext to make his point, he didn't, by the way. It's something on the right did, but many right-wing nationalists capitalized as yet another opportunity to reduce the world to a series of clashes between racial groups and in-and-out groups. That's what you fucks do.
Hilarious though. All right, that's enough Kirby's Air Ride.
That just makes me want to dance.
It's such a catchy tune, isn't it?
I just picture a bunch of Jews dancing in a jig.
Well, have you ever seen them? Like when they get the Hasidic Jews get together and do the big dances? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, racismus. Look at Nancy Pelosi. This. Oh wait, I forgot this. There's another. Okay, so I said earlier I was going to prove that this was a political. Listen to what he said in his 2021 primary campaign. Listen to this shit.
Let's talk about what's waiting for the new DA. The docket. We know there's a Trump investigation. I have investigated Trump and his children and held them accountable for their misconduct with the Trump Foundation. I also sued the Trump administration more than 100 times for DACA, the travel ban, separation of children from their families at the border. So I know that work. I know how to follow the facts and hold people in power accountable. Let's talk about what's waiting.
He has sued Trump and his children
times.
over 100 times.
I get the impression you may be a bit obsessed.
A bit? You think?
Yeah.
But this isn't political, Spoon. This is just because he's black.
No,
That's the only reason.
Bitch.
That's the only reason why people are on the right are criticizing him. It's just because of the color of his skin, not because he's a lunatic who has spent his time downgrading felonies to misdemeanors
you ever have a
in New York
manager of
City.
Any kind that's a diversity hire? Oh my god! Some of the comments are like, God damn.
Again, in his own words, he's motivated entirely to punish Trump and his family. He said this is when he's running for office. He's saying he wants to go after Trump. That's his goal, not to clean up crime in New York City, which he actively fought against.
Yeah.
He has downgraded felonies to misdemeanors while trying to upgrade a misdemeanor, maybe even a misdemeanor, to a felony. Absolutely ludicrous. This man is clearly all political. He does not care about the truth. He doesn't care about justice. It has nothing to do with him being black. It has to do with him being a partisan ideologue. Speaking of partisan ideologues, Nancy Pelosi says the grand jury has acted upon the facts and the law. No one is above the law, and everyone has the right at trial to prove innocence. Excuse me, Nancy. Nancy, do you have a law degree? Do you actually? Because that's most way people get into politics.
No.
Does she have a law degree? Let's find out.
He has a drinking degree.
Same, to be fair. Oh shit, she went to. Whoa! No way! No way! No way! Oh, okay. Oh, thank God. Is this the same thing? Oh. No way! This can't be the same. Oh, it's a high school. Okay, it's not the college. All right, never mind. I freaked out about something for a second.
Ukraine ready to give up Crimea, says Zelensky advisor.
Interesting.
Ooh.
What was her degree in? Graduated from Notre Dame, Trinity College, bachelor's in political science. Okay, so she's not a lawyer. All right. She just has a degree in political science. But Nancy, you have been serving in the U.S. government for 1 billion years. I mean, at least 100 million years. You ancient dinosaur. I think at some point you would learn that the point of a trial is not to prove your innocence. They have to prove you guilty. You are innocent until proven guilty. That's how it works. It's not complicated.
Well, it is for these people.
How can you say something this stupid?
You're Nancy Pelosi and you're
Yeah, she's playing too much Phoenix Wright. Yeah. Oh, Bill said too much time not being prosecuted for electing Jim Jones to be the housing minister of San Francisco. Ooh, illegally hiring him. Woo wee. Yeah, Kool-Aid Jim Jones. Yep. Hopefully the former president will peacefully respect the system, which grants him that right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't grant him the right to prove his innocence. He's innocent until proven guilty, you miserable old hag. And then I love, again, community notes. Here we go. Miss Pelosi mistakenly says that Trump can prove his innocence at trial. Law in the United States assumes the innocence of a defendant, and the prosecution must prove guilt for a conviction. How embarrassing for you. How embarrassing.
You think she's embarrassed?
No. I
No.
think she probably just went and got drunk. DRT is king for 5 says, I know the Dems want to be European, but we don't have Napoleonic code. Yeah. it's a foundational principle. I'm actually what Dr. said here. Does he have a doctorate? He does. Get that. What do you say? Are you true this ignorant, this imbecile, like this misguided, this fascistic, a trial to prove innocence? Are you familiar with the Yeah, like everyone's just dunking on her. Everybody just Oh, what did I have? Man, and it's pretty funny that how long she's served in the American government and yet fundamentally does not understand how the American legal system works.
But the people are
That's
retarded.
But democracy is a system of government by the people, for the people. But the people are retarded. The guy runs a cult, by the way. Well, I really should. It doesn't make his quote any less based.
Yeah.
So here Pelosi got heckled. This is pretty funny.
You know, Pelosi, that's a very good place for you in the depths of hell. Because for some reason, you have a very bad obsession of getting us into war. Hey, why is it that you did not admit that there were no WMDs in Iraq? You lied us into a war in Iraq. You got us into an invasion of Afghanistan. Now over 90% of those people are impoverished and are dying.
You're an asshole.
Nord Stream.
Hey, tell you the Nord Stream.
Why did we destroy Nord Stream?
Good question.
Millions of Germans without energy. You have a knack for getting us into war. People like you should be arrested. You are a war criminal.
Hey, Congresswoman! I came to see a warmonger, but you're a sad old drunk. What happened? When you went to Taiwan, were you looking for Ukraine? Did we blow up the Nord Stream on accident?
So based.
By the way,
you don't understand how happy this makes me.
By the way, that guy, that's the same guy that heckled AOC.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I recognize the voice.
Am I doing an Osho voice? Am I? I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just very excited by this because it makes me so deeply happy. It's just, chef's kiss.
Purpose! Did you know about that? Aren't you supposed to be part of the indictment tomorrow? You're a war criminal by definition, Miss Pelosi.
Very true. You are.
Got some nerve, is that?
You really do. You really do. You are a war criminal by definition. This is great.
Is that why you're here in Manhattan? Is that why you're here? Because you're getting indicted tomorrow?
It'd be nice if you could spell here right, but that's okay.
I really wish
you goddamn war criminal! How many people have died in your fucking name?
Based. Holy based.
How many people have died because of Iraq? All of you forgot about Iraq? Get out of here! Iran, Libya, Syria!
All they can do is tell them to get out.
Dodd-Frank was always never gonna work. If we don't deal with the 600 trillion in derivatives, then there's no chance for this economy. Don't you see it all failed? None of it hurt. None of it hurt.
That guy's not even like calling her names or anything.
Yeah,
it wasn't Alex. That wasn't Alex. It wasn't Alex Steinspoon. It sounded like Alex Stein, but it wasn't him, obviously.
No, Alex Stein is the fucking joking dude.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were saying that the guy who...
No, man. There was the people that heckled AOC at the town hall.
Oh, yeah. Right. Not Alex Stein, at the town hall. Was that
How
the same guy?
stupid do you people think I am?
No, I
should chastise all of you bastards. Fuck you, Chad.
Oh, shit.
Damn you all, don't listen to me. Yeah, you guys are right.
All they can do is shout. This is literally all they can do is shout you down. You're telling the truth.
With masks on after all
these are the people I know, and these are the people who say they're speaking truth to power. But if you tell them the truth about the fact that Nancy Pelosi is a warmonger, they just sit there and boo or moo. Yeah, that's probably right as well. Zach Fool, get some mooing there.
And then you land your plane in Taiwan. We want a war with China at the same time. We want to all have nuclear bombs dropped on our heads. We live in Manhattan.
I have to ask you to leave. Thank you.
By the way, Lyndon LaRouche is back in a big way, and I'm here on behalf of everybody who loves peace and not war with Russia and war with China.
I think some of the people talking here might actually be leftists.
Of course, they're all leftists.
But you know what I mean? These people, because they're anti-war.
Yes.
Which good.
They're all hippies.
Any decent Republican would be anti-war too, but you know how that works out. But yep.
And a new hot war with the East.
That video. Oh,
Chef's kiss.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Here's something I don't love. Here's Biden laughing about this indictment shit.
Your boost me nothing, no one shit. Yeah, spoken like Rick.
Look, he just thinks it's fucking funny. He's a dictator. As I'll bring it up.
I don't think he knows what's going on.
Just gonna bring it up. Just gonna bring up a little Sam Hyde quote. After playing that video, bring up a little image here with the Sam Hyde quote. I'm not saying it. Sam Hyde said it. Why is it so low res? This is a Twitter picture. Why is this? Why is this like? Oh, it's a Facebook picture. That's why it's so low res. Let me find a better one. Sorry. Ooh, yikes, that's awful. Here we go. When we win, do not forget that this is a quote from Sam Hyde. I'm not saying this. Sam Hyde said this. He said, when we win, do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, your kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny. And there's Biden laughing. There's Biden laughing. There he's laughing about the Trump indictment. Oh, that's so funny, isn't it? Oh, you're gonna go have some ice cream later. See now. So we talked about Alvin Bragg, but there's also weird shit going on with the judge in this case.
Oh, the ones being connected to the Biden
campaign? So the judge warns Trump of gag order if incitement continues. I don't want to see this anymore.
It started now.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the leftists protesting outside of Trump Tower? Here's what he said. Okay. Mr. Trump walked in. Former President Trump walked in. He seemed to have a bit of a swagger. He looked stoic. He looked stone-faced. Gibson began, adding, the judge's name is Juan Merchan, by the way. This is Fox legal producer Jake Gibson describing it. He pleaded not guilty, he said not guilty, and at some point the prosecution brought up all the social media posts that he had put out recently, including one where he's holding a bat next to DA Alvin Bragg. Okay, Trump, you probably shouldn't post stuff like that. But, and the prosecution said, it's a meme. We're going to get into the meme prosecution shit in a minute.
Oh, God.
And the prosecution said, this is, could be looked at as inciting violence. And they wanted Judge Merchan to, it seemed like they wanted him to give a gag order. Judge Merchan said, no, he wouldn't give the gag order, but he said to Mr. Trump and to his attorneys, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see the next time that I see something like this, I might have a different idea about what I should do. His attorney said that, look, this case they've been investigating this for 3 years. There's been selective leaks that are harming former President Trump. And it's unthinkable that he wouldn't be allowed to defend himself. That's their way of justifying his post. The judge said that he wasn't sure that justified, if he was inciting violence. So, judge is implying if Trump posts anything about this, apparently, look, like him, photoshopped image of him hitting Alvin Bragg with a bat. Come on, Donald, what are you doing? But
come on, that's funny.
Uh-oh. What's this? Daughter of judge overseeing Donald Trump's case worked on the Biden-Harris campaign.
I think the judge actually gave money to him.
We're gonna get to it. Of course I have that. Of course I have that. So, Judge Juan Merchan's daughter is Lauren Merchan, president and partner of Authentic Campaigns, a company that runs digital campaigns for Democrat candidates, according to Merchan's archived LinkedIn account. The company's website has a testimonial from Rep. Adam Schiff, who is one of the most insufferable people in politics, which states, we partner with our clients to build award-winning online programs for progressive campaigns. According to Merchan's archived LinkedIn account, she worked as the, quote, director of digital persuasion for Kamala Harris for the People from February 2019 through December 2019, which was during the 2020 presidential election. How'd that go for you? The least liked person in the Democrat Party that Biden chose just because of the color of her skin and what was between her legs, which we all know. Even I think Democrats have to admit that, because if you look at the polling, nobody could stand Kamala Harris. She was last. She was polling in single digits of approval in the primaries, and this woman was her persuasion director. So in other words, she sucks. Is that what this is about? Are you feeling a little bit salty that your daughter sucks at her job? Oh, favorite. By the way, favorite ice cream flavor? I love. Well, okay, it's a complicated question. I like all the green ice creams. I like green tea. I love green tea ice cream. Holy shit, I love green tea ice cream. Matcha, whatever. I love pistachio, and I like mint, but I don't like chocolate chips. So I kind of just you can't ever get mint ice cream without chocolate in it. So I always kind of eat around the chocolate. Phil says it's because I'm a coward. I just don't like chocolate. I know, like the rare woman who doesn't like chocolate, and it's like a meme, right? But ice cream racist. Yes, I must separate the greens from the whites. I have to separate white greens from the browns. I don't like chocolate. I'm sorry. Common Aiden L. Look, okay, don't look. You know this about me and food. We always end up talking about food on the show. I have very weird tastes. I don't like anything normal. I'm a very weird person when it comes to food. I like the weirdest. I like weird shit, okay? I like weird shit.
Like salt and vinegar blind.
don't Bill is encouraging the shaming. Yeah, like, okay, Patricia's Fun Kempen knows that pistachio is great. What's your favorite ice cream? I had a sandwich today. Green cream matters. What's your favorite ice cream flavor or flavors, Spoon? I like lime sherbet too. Ooh, good one.
Rum and raisin.
Rum raisin's pretty good.
Mint chocolate.
You like mint as well?
Mm-hmm.
Rum raisin ice cream, their wives.
Did you hear that?
What did he say?
He said people who eat rum raisin beat their wives.
Where's the insult?
Yeah. I would try a pickle ice cream. I would try that. I love pickles.
Beating is the result of women, or for women who don't listen.
Hasselhopper for $5 says, big ice cream won't tell you this, but you can make your own mint ice cream sans chocolate chips at home. I don't know why cinnamon ice cream isn't more popular. Yeah, I should make my own mint ice cream. I do like, you know what, Ardent Party, I do like Moose Tracks, even though I don't like chocolate. For some reason, I like Moose Tracks, it's got that caramel, and I know what I'm going to get. It's all kind of like more consistent. With mint, it's like I'm enjoying my mint, and then there's chocolate in it. I just don't like the chocolate to get in my mint. I like the taste of mint alone. Oh, it's the eternal struggle. It's Mein Kampf, right? In terms of trying to get mint without chocolate near it. Mein Kampf. Like I like the taste of mint, but it's always covered in chocolate. Like Andy's candies, Andy's mints. I like the mint. I don't want the chocolate on it. No, because it had chocolate on it. I don't like it when it's got chocolate on it. I just want the mint.
But I don't really like person.
I know. I have very weird tastes. I know. Yes, I get it.
Especially in Friends.
All right, let's get back to this. A Twitter account linked to Merchant has also appeared to be deleted. Donald Trump posted on Truth Social in all caps, like caps lock is cruise control for cool. Very unfair venue with some areas that voted 1% Republican. This case should be most to nearby Staten Island. I think he means be moved, but that's okay, Donald. Nearby Staten Island would be very fair and secure. Very clear and secure location for the trial. Additionally, the highly partisan judge and his family are well-known Trump haters. He was an unfair disaster on a previous Trump-related case, wouldn't recuse, gave horrible jury instructions, and impossible to deal with during the witch trial hunt. His daughter worked for Kamala. Why did he put Kamala in quotes?
Does that imply that she's not real? To be fair, I don't think she should be real either.
Why did he put Kamala in quotes?
I mean, that is implying
now the Biden-Harris campaign kangaroo court. You are right about this one, Trump. I really want to know the rationale. This is some Kofefe shit, but whisper shouting. Yeah, I don't want to actually shout. It's 11:30. I don't want to actually shout.
You sound like Jordan Peterson for some reason when you talk like that.
Wash your penis. Eric Trump, the former president's son, tweeted, "They're all handpicked. It's all prearranged. This corruption is on a different level.
not
True. Yeah. George Mason presided over a previous Trump-related case involving the Trump Organization and its former chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg. During that case, Merchant said he would not allow Trump Organization attorneys to accuse Manhattan prosecutors of targeting the company out of animus for Trump. You wouldn't allow them to make the claim? I will not allow you in any way to bring up a selective prosecution claim or claim this is some sort of novel prosecution. Why not?
Why not? I mean, that is clearly what it is.
It is, yeah. I mean, clearly it is. What the?
You have to be blind not to see that.
Why are they allowed to say it though? Oh, is it because they are? It is selective prosecution, and you don't want people to know about it. You don't. I don't know if there's a jury trial. Why else would he not be allowed to say it? If you're the judge and there's no jury, why would you care if he says it or not? It must have been a jury trial because otherwise he wouldn't care, right?
I bet.
Let's see. Let me just kill off jury. I have no idea if it was a jury trial or not, but it seems weird that he would say that if it was not a jury trial and he didn't want it being brought up. So you spoke about him funding the Democrats, because then, of course, the left has been bringing up, oh, Trump is attacking this poor judge's daughter out of nowhere. Okay, you know what? Fair cop. It's not him, right? It's his daughter who does this. Oh, wait, what's this? Uh-oh. Ooh, I don't know. Could you read that headline?
Committed leftist judge Juan Merchan, who oversees Trump's sham case in New York City, court made political contributions to stop the Republicans and Biden for president. Really? No fucking shit.
Here it is.
New York is a fucking cesspool.
To be fair, it's not a lot of money. Is this like really $10? But it does show you his political alignment, right? Even if it's just $10.
Who is surprised by that?
Act Blue also helped raise money for Alvin Bragg's campaign. I mean, again, even if it's just $15 or $10, which isn't much, it shows his alignments, though, right?
Yeah.
For specifically a group called Stop Republicans.
Well, you can kind of guess what the point of that was.
Yeah.
Stop Republicans.
Fake Kamala. I mean, even if it's small amounts, look, we get where your loyalties lie, dude. It's not difficult. You know, Trump did a speech, but we're running a little behind. I want to get through some other stuff, so maybe we'll watch Trump's speech later. He did just do it last night. And I don't want to see what happens with the trial. Let's get through some other articles and stuff. So,
all right,
we'll just do that. I don't know. You said you were really awake earlier. I was really tired. Now I'm awake. We'll go for a bit. Let's just see. Democrat Party reportedly received half its donations from unemployed Americans. Many are elderly voters whose identities have been stolen. Where's the money really coming from? Good question, Joe Hoft, who is a fantastic writer, always on point. What the heck is this? Would you mind reading this one for a bit while I rest my voice, because I've been trying to do that whisper shouting?
Let's see. In 2020, millions were reportedly donated to BLM and other George Floyd. After George Floyd was died from an overdose. I'm not going to say was killed because that's bullshit. At the same time, 20+ police were killed, and American cities suffered nearly $2 billion in record damages following the George Floyd protests. Yeah, because no one gives a fuck about private property, apparently. The Gateway Pundit was the first to report that Act Blue was raising money using BLM as a front group. No shit. Act Blue is the Democrats' fundraising apparatus. We know this from early reporting and from the fact that BLM later admitted this in 2022. Black Lives Matter, buying a lot of mansions, announced in February of 2022 that the organization was deactivating its fundraising pages because fucking tax man is on our asses on Act Blue. This was after the Washington Examiner exposed that BLM still accepts donations for the Democratic platform, despite claiming it had stopped amid questions about its finances. What a surprise.
Yeah, wow, shocking.
Yeah, the Daily Caller confirmed that Act Blue was using BLM to raise money. BLM is not a recognized non-profit organization, and non-profit organization, 1,000 Currents, sold it, provides fiduciary oversight, financial management, and other advanced sort of administrative services to BLM. Candace Owens, a report on BLM Act Blue relationship.
Jim, isn't her name Owens with an S? Whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
Minor oversight.
Yeah. Well, I read like that. Act Blue relationship was targeting by a bogus fact checker, Tom Fitton. Is it? Yeah. From Judicial
Oh,
Watch.
yeah, this guy, yeah.
Jumped in and stated that the findings confirm what top GOP. What is what? TGP? I'm assuming. And Candace Owens.
I'm not sure what does TGP stand for.
Yeah, I'm wondering myself. Oh, the Gateway Pundits.
Oh, the Gateway Pundit, yeah. But...
And Candace Owens reported, I can't fucking read that. Oh, I know him, yeah. The face seems familiar now. See, tax-deductible charitable donation directly to Black Lives Matter. You can't. You donate to Act Blue charities, and Act Blue charities send this money allegedly to another charity. 1,000 Currents, which runs BLM, is a fiscal sponsorship. Told you some shady tax shit.
Yeah.
Yes, the 1,000 Currents was allegedly
sorry. There you go. Sorry.
It was allegedly a non-profit organization, and Susan Rosenberg, Steinberg, again, almost you see a pattern.
Come on, dude. Don't buy another meme. I'll put Kirby's Air Ride back on. Air Bounce or whatever it's called, yeah.
I could say something horrible.
Memeing. We're having a little meme.
I'm channeling my inner blonde and blue-eyed.
Disavow.
What? The chat thinks it's funny.
I know. We're making jokes, guys.
Sure, jokes. That's what we're gonna call them now.
Didn't Owens used to be a lefty? Yeah, it's one of the reasons I've always been skeptical of Candace Owens, but she has been seemingly doing good work for years now. But she started an organization called
yeah.
Oh shit, what was it called?
Say shit that gets people in trouble.
Why can't I recall the name of it? But it was basically like put people's names on a list if they're wrong thinkers. You know, not what was it called again? Chat pillar members. Yeah, but it was very, very suspect. And yeah, she was a leftist, and then she moved to the right. So
yeah, and the reason people get skeptical is, wow, you didn't have any success on the left, and as soon as you went on the right, you suddenly got discovered, and you made
social
a lot of money.
Autopsy.
Like,
Thank you, Foyberg.
That's
social
the one.
autopsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was escaping me.
Yeah, not shady at all. Let's see.
A lot of people got it. Thank you.
Let's see. Susan Rosenberg was a member of the Weather Underground terrorist group, which includes Obama's friend Bill Ayers. Yeah. Is he President Bill Clinton?
She was part of Weather Underground. Ooh. I mean, they did actual terrorisms, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, in the summary, contributions to BLM were funneled through Act Blue, the major resource for Democrat donations, and then funneled to at least one organization run by a member of a domestic terrorist group. Wow, what a great apparatus.
Yeah.
In early 2020, Fox News reported that half of all of the donation to Act Blue in 2019 came from untraceable unemployed donors. Okay. A preliminary computer analysis by the Take Back Action Fund, obtained exclusively by Fox News, has found that nearly half of all 2019 donations to Act Blue was made by people claiming to be unemployed. Really weird. How the hell would you be unemployed by making donations?
Right.
It's the Action Fund president, John Putner, questioned the veracity of these donations and called it a loophole that must be closed for the sake of election integrity.
Election integrity.
Yeah, something that you really give a shit about.
Exactly.
But only if you lose. After downloading, well, I can say that about the right as well. Although in their case, you can kind of make a case. Yeah, because it's totally normal for a president to take 5 days to fucking count ballots.
Just a little, well, I don't know, a little weird.
In 5 swing states that your opponent was all leading by at the beginning, and then slowly over time, you seem to gain the lead in all those places. That's totally fucking normal. I mean, it's never happened anywhere, ever, but... I
just want to bring this up real quick, because I did want to have the exact information on Weather Underground. They bombed the U.S. State Department.
What?
In 1975. They took credit for 25 bombings, including the U.S. Capitol, the Pentagon, California Attorney General's office, and New York City Police Station.
Wow, those are like oddly based targets by today's standards.
But this is a far leftist group, and Susan Rosenberg was on their board. And by the way, the people in charge of this, do they have the guy who is their leader? Him and one of his like women who were the leaders of it. It might have been Rosenberg. I in a video I did recently, I found clips of them talking while they were in prison for these bombings, and they just said, "Yeah, I'd do it again. I feel absolutely no." And they did this. They were a. This is in the 1970s. They were like an extremely like anti-white, pro-black, far leftist group.
And that doesn't sound like BLM at all.
Yeah, but no one talks about this shit. Anyway, that was an aside. Just wanted to, people weren't aware of the weather underground.
Anyways, like a preliminary computer analysis by tape of action. Well, I fucking already read that. Oh, sorry, after downloading hundreds of millions of dollars in donations to Take Back Action fund service, we were shocked to see that almost half the donations of that review of 2019 claimed to be unemployed individuals, he said. The name of employers must be disclosed when making political donations, but more than 4.7 million donations came from people who claimed they did not have an employer. Those 4.7 million
does that make any damn sense?
Yes, donation 346 million.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
Yeah, where's this money coming from?
The trend is continuing this year and acts as I have an idea.
What? We all know. These are not coming that these are not coming from actual people, just like the votes didn't come from actual people. And I mean, of course they did, Susan, Newsom, whatever. But just, you know, when Steven Crowder went out to some of the places that people claim to have lived, where they sent in their mail-in ballots, it was road underpasses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it couldn't possibly come from Ukraine.
Oh, they are washing the money through Ukraine, so maybe, yeah.
Yep.
Allegedly.
No, that's not alleged. That's fucking true.
Yeah, I know, but
you see, the trend is
we're on YouTube. Yeah. They're totally not, but I mean, there's some crazy conspiracy theorists who think that maybe the Democrats are washing money through Ukraine or laundering money through Ukraine.
Yeah, either for their pockets or for campaign donations.
Mm.
Yeah, while continuing a war. Someone said,
"Do you want to
the Dems are just
continue this?" I don't know.
Not really. I mean, you kind of know where this is going.
We get it. I'll post the link to the rest of the article because it is. We get the basic idea, but if you'd like to read more, because we're on, whoa, it's too long. I can't post the link to the article because it is too long of a link. Wait, hang on. I'll pop it into a link shortener.
Make fun of AOC.
Yeah, let's make fun of AOC. My big booty Latina. There she is, AOC.
Yeah, but then she
big
talks.
Booty Latina. Okay, there's a short URL if you'd like to read the rest of the article, because Jim Hoft always does fantastic reporting for the Gateway Pundit. AOC and her alleged burner account.
Do you believe it?
You know, I looked at it. I have to turn this off because I think there's images in this. Yeah,
that's a great photo for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez faced a number of questions after someone claimed to have found a, quote, burner Twitter account connected to her. Nico House replied to a few tweets posted by Ocasio-Cortez and got responses from a seemingly random account called Zaza Smoker. Now, I've heard some people say that Zaza is a nickname for Alexandria. I've never heard this. Let me look it up. Okay.
Maybe a different
Zaza,
language.
Oh, it might be in Spanish. Zaza nickname. I was gonna say, let me hang on. Sorry, guys. I did hear this argument. It's just all about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't know. I've never slang term explained. I have no idea. If this is a nickname for Alexandria, I've never heard it, right? That's all I just want to say. It's just a claim I heard throughout there. There's chains of Cuban restaurants around here called Zazas. I don't know. Is it a word for weed? Oh, is there a word for weed? Is this whole thing just a weed reference? See. I enjoy the marijuana as well, and I don't know all the weed, the dude weed Lamel slang. He quickly noticed that when the account replied back, the responses were framed in a first-person perspective, as if the person responding was the Congresswoman herself. Now, I don't find this to be particularly compelling. I think you do. Yeah?
A little bit. I'm not the only one. There's a whole bunch of people who
I
think
know.
it's compelling.
I know. But I'm just saying my perspective is I don't find this particularly compelling.
Do
But
I
let's-
think that AOC would be a vile, vindictive bitch behind the scenes?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm just not convinced this is her account, and not someone trolling. Yo, AOC has burned accounts. I responded to one of her other posts reminding her that she sends money to Nazis, and some random account responded to me speaking in the first person as if I attacked them. Then that same person deleted the tweet. So here's the stuff. Go over here. I don't know why we're in Doge mode on Twitter right now, but cool, Elon. So AOC is responding to Alejandro Carballo, saying AOC told Chaya Raichik, oh my god, there's so many people involved in this. AOC told Chaya Raichik, aka Libs of TikTok, that she's transphobic straight to her face when she ran into her. We watched that last week. AOC responds, you bet I did. NYC doesn't play with bigots and transphobes, and neither do I. Have a great day. Happy face emoji, trans flag emoji, two heart emoji. Nico House responds, but you vote to send money to Nazis and fund the Israeli apartheid, but hey, at least you stood up to a TikTok star. And in response, Zaza Demon responds, lol, and what makes you think I did anything to support Nazis? You're delusional. Seek help. And then deleted the tweet. And then blocked him. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, and then apparently has deleted their account.
It's back up.
Let's go back to the article. I don't know. I don't find this compelling, dude.
It is back up, by the way.
Oh, did they bring the account back?
Yeah,
Yeah, Twitter does that thing where you can delete your account and then you have like 48 hours to undo it. Because everybody knows it. This is the thing. Everybody just on Twitter is either drunk or in a rage or on other substances. So they do stupid shit constantly. Lance for 5 says an applicable Bible verse for this holy week. Mark 14. Lance!
What?
This is not a Mark 14:48. Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as you would against a robber? Is that no way? Is it actually 14:48? Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as you would against a robber?
Based?
No. Well, 14. If there's 1 4 off from there from meaning something very different. I'm not familiar with that if that's true or not, but I'm sure it is then. Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as you would against a robber? Yeah. And it is a holy week. I'm believing that is the accurate citation of the verse.
You.
Thank you, Lance. I wasn't trying to imply anything. I'm just looking for people saying stuff because we've been spicy tonight. Just expecting it. You know what I mean? Closer scrutiny of the alleged burner account revealed that whoever was controlling the account was not just tweeting in defense of AOC, they were also tweeting death threats at the Daily Wire podcast host and What is a Woman creator, Matt Walsh. So Matt Walsh says, I came to the conclusion years ago that the trans movement is the greatest evil our country faces. I mean, I only become more and more sure of this fact with each passing day and more determined to oppose it to my last breath. Zaza Demon responds, you are a hateful little freak, and I can't wait until you piss off a trans person that actually is as unhinged as you say they all are. Whoa. Was that before or... I think this was after the shooting.
No, it has to be
Maybe.
after.
It was 4 days ago. I think it's actually before. I think it's actually before. Yeah. Oh, Lance, don't worry about it. I thought it was a coded message. It's a good Bible verse, but I thought maybe you were memeing about something else. Don't worry about it. We must be pretty sure about our future and the kids. Furious Dan, dude. I'm sorry. I'm hyper aware of people making spicy jokes, Lance. What? Right. Oh, sorry about that one. Don't worry about it, Lance. If you didn't get my confusion, don't look into it. Don't Google it. You'll end up on a list. Anyone seen Kyle? No, Keebler. I sure haven't. Well, I think he's doing pretty well. Last time I saw Kyle, he was with a really hot, big booby bitch, which he deserves. But that'd have been Kyle Rittenhouse. Last time I saw him, yeah. I mean, I've heard he's about this tall.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the tallest bloke in the world.
We must seek Kyle. Are you good at any of these jokes, Spoon?
Not quite that spicy.
No. Oh, it's actual jokes, bro. Okay. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene responded as well, tweeting, "Is this you, AOC? Zaza Demon your burner account? That's a disturbing name. Excited to see an unhinged trans murder a member of the conservative press, Matt Walsh. Yes, that is a demonic name, so the name fits. I mean, true, right?" AOC did not respond to the tweet suggesting the account was hers, but if it was, she would certainly not be the first elected official to use anonymous burner accounts. Senator Mitt Romney admitted to using a secret account, which later reported was under the name Pierre Delecto to keep tabs on the political conversation. Yeah, I know Lance is referring to Trump being arrested during Holy Week. It is disturbing. It's just my meme-addled brain.
I do actually find her interesting as a political persona. AOC.
AOC, yeah.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
she has a very easy game plan, which she borrows heavily from Trump, by the way, which is that do not ever apologize for anything. Never ever go on the defensive. Because that is her entire persona. Have you ever seen her on the back foot? No. She just insults or belittles everyone that disagrees with it. That's exactly what Trump does. Except Trump has chops for doing that, where she just looks fucking unhinged.
One more thing relating to the Alvin Bragg stuff. Partner from law firm that represents DNC and is suing Trump over Jan 6 on behalf of the Democrats in Congress is arrested for possessing CP. Partner at Cohen, Milstein, Sellers & Toll, a law firm representing the DNC and suing Trump.
Well,
not that shocked. Over January 6th, on behalf of the Democrats in Congress, was arrested for possessing CP. Michael T. Dolce, is it Dolce probably? Dolce. A lawyer who specialized in fighting child sex abuse was arrested by the feds at his West Palm Beach apartment on March 15th. Detectives discovered nearly 2,000 images of child SA on Michael Dolce's devices. According to the federal criminal complaint, God, this makes me so sick. Investigators found SA images with girls as young as 5 years old. I don't want to go through any more of this, but you get the picture, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Wow. Dude, just... And these are the people trying to prosecute Trump. And every fucking time. It's just some random Democrat stuff. Here's Kamala Harris talking like a baby again. Oh no, that's not a good segue. I didn't mean to make this a segue, but here's Kamala Harris pretending to be a baby while that guy is looking at him and being a pervert freak and deserves to go to jail forever, if not worse. Yeah, Bill says break him upon the wheel, I think.
And increasing the use and development of apps.
Apps.
On that last point, I'd ask you to just imagine your own smartphone and the apps that it contains. And what those apps then give you in terms of access to a myriad of information.
Why does she talk like this?
What, everyone around is like a 3-year-old?
Well, no, yeah, she talks like... I think it's legitimate that she's an extreme midwit, and her midwitism makes her think she's a genius, so she has to like dumb down her speech, or maybe she's just stupid. I don't know why she talks like she's a preschool teacher. I really look.
And everyone
my
around
mom
her has the IQ of like 65.
Listen, I'm saying this. My mom listens. I love my mom. She often talks like this, but my mom actually is a preschool teacher. So the people she talks to the most every single day are 3. And sometimes she gets stuck in that kind of way of speaking, right? Like she's talking to a 3-year-old. There's no reason for Kamala Harris to be talking to like this all the time. It's always so weird. I find it so bizarre. She always talks like she's speaking to 3-year-olds. Here's some more hypocrisy, though. Going back to the hypocrisy. Uh-oh, we got a lot of Gateway Pundit articles tonight. Yikes, new video shows gun-grabbing twink. Thank you again, Jim Hoft. Gun-grabbing twink David Hogg enjoying an afternoon at the gun range shooting off guns. Oh my god. Oh, can he not? I haven't actually watched the video yet. I watched. Okay, so here's David Hogg crying as of just April 1st, just a couple days ago, about guns.
We're rallying at my college this Tuesday, but we need people to join us around the country. We need especially students in state capitals that go to schools like FSU in Tallahassee or MSU right in Lansing, Michigan, to show up and rally, because these politicians in our state legislatures, this change isn't going to come from Congress immediately. This change has to come from our states, and that's not going to happen until we make those people in power uncomfortable. The only way we can do that is by showing them that you can't just say after a school shooting, wow, there's nothing that we can do, we just have to accept this. Fuck that. Fuck these people.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying that. I think we should probably be addressing the underlying issues, which is not guns. Guns, a good guy with a gun stops a shooter every single time, pretty much. Or at least prevents things from escalating. People who are evil will get guns, or they will find some other way to cause harm. A good guy with a gun can prevent it, and often does. If the reason why the shooter at Nashville, as we discussed last week, chose that location is because they knew there was no armed guard at that school. Their first choice to attack had an armed guard. They went to the school because there wasn't a good guy with a gun on duty. You lunatic. It's pretty damn clear. Also, people forget, lest we forget about David Hogg, who survived, by his own words, the Parkland shooting. He wasn't even on campus that day. He wasn't on campus when it happened. He was home. I forget what he said he had to do. He said that he went to school. No. He said his claim is that he went to school, but he forgot something. So then he got on his bike or something and drove and went back to his house. But either way, he wasn't there when the shooting occurred. Well, that I've heard that contention as well. Are you there, Spoon?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm just making sure. Oh, you were quiet for a minute. Sometimes I worry you fall asleep. I don't know how you can get sleepy in the face of this infuriating little twink. Also, his head is an upside down pear. Prove me wrong. Look at his head shape. Damn. It's an interesting head shape.
People. They don't work for the gun industry. They don't work for the NRA. They work for us. And it is time to fucking remind them of that.
Oh, wow.
The only way that we were able to change things after Parkland in Florida is because students turned out and we said, hell no.
Yeah, his dad works for, I don't know if he works for the CIA, but his dad works for the government. He did a internship, I believe, with the CIA. Yeah, avocado head. Holy shit, his head is shaped like an avocado. Whoa, dude. That's from eating too much avocado toast.
We are going to demand change. And despite what everybody said, saying this is a Republican state legislature and you can't change gun laws here, guess what? We fucking did. If we can do that as a group of teenagers, surely as college students and as high school students and students around the country, we can do it again. Join us this Tuesday. Rally.
I don't care. Here's the part that's funny. Cat Turd is, of course, a required follow on Twitter. Says actor David Hogg, who, again, did want to be an actor. And this is 2 days later, after posting this soy boy rant, posts this. I don't know why I have to go to Twitter to watch it, but that's all right. Can he hit the broadside of a barn? Oh, he did hit that clay pigeon. Come on, dudes. He did hit it. I think he got that one too. Oh, it seems like he has some practice then. What are you talking about, dude? This is your Michael Dukakis moment. You are obsolete. Wow. Holy shit. This is your Michael Dukakis moment. Yeah, you weren't at a school shooting. Here's your free ride to Harvard, says Foy Burkhart. I know, right? What? What a loser. Here's the iron law of woke project. Actually, this whole segment I'm gonna go into it now. It's called the iron law of woke projection. God, I have a lot of Gateway Pundit articles tonight. Fuck me. It's a nice aggregator. Florida Democrats arrested while protesting bill to protect babies. Then Elon Musk community notes wrecks Democrats with the brutal truth of the arrests. So this just in. Florida Senate Minority Leader Laura Book and former Florida Agricultural Commissioner Nikki Fried arrested in Tallahassee Monday evening after protesting the state's new 6-week abortion ban. This is his version of events. Look, it's very peaceful. Just holding hands. Just holding hands. All they did, right? Of course, of course. Occupy Democrats post the same thing. This is tonight. Florida Democratic Party Chair Nikki Fried, or is it Fried or Fried, whatever. Senate Democrat leader Book were arrested for protesting Ron DeSantis' unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. Oh my God. It won't be long. So look, they're just being. It's so terrible. They're just sitting there peacefully, just sitting there menacingly. In a love circle. I am so sorry that Ron DeSantis is arresting political opponents. Who would ever do that, Spoon? Are you there? Did he fall asleep? Spoon. Did he really fall asleep? He does this sometimes.
No,
okay. You are Spoon, wake up.
I'm right
Wake
here.
up. Bill's gonna send me something. What is this, Bill? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running for president.
Yeah, I saw that.
And what's this? Ooh,
Yeah, he's apparently gonna challenge Biden. I don't know how the hell that's gonna go down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Anything
Kennedy round 2.
Yeah, Kennedy round 2. We'll see. Interesting. I'd say it's unbelievable. The so-called free state of Florida under Ron DeSantis. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Ron DeSantis is arresting his political opponents. The Democrats would never do that. Ever, ever, ever. Except readers added context. They thought people might want to know. Tallahassee Police Department is an agency controlled by the city of Tallahassee. The city commission has a Democrat Party majority, and the mayor is a member of the Democrat Party. It's not Ron DeSantis who did this. It's the city of Tallahassee. Look, just every time. It's always fucking lies. It's always lies. And it's always that they, again, oh, could you imagine? Oh, we're being persecuted. You know who's being persecuted? For fuck's sake. Why is the post-millennial taking a minute to load? Hang on. Wow. Come on. Fix your servers. New York City jury finds Douglas Mackey guilty in first ever meme trial after making memes that disparaged Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. I think we covered this a little bit before. But this guy's been found guilty for posting a viral meme. Yeah, we did cover this. The viral meme just said, like, you know, you can text this number and say, vote Hillary. Look, this stupid shit he was posting. Just posting clear memes. Yeah. I'll bring it up in here in a second, Bill, but yeah. In the same year, Bill, they made the same joke. So, yeah, jokingly encouraging supporters of Hillary Clinton to vote by text. It's your fault if you were so stupid that you fell for this. And part of the evidence in the trial was that something like 5,000 people did text it. It's literally Democrat coping and seething that their own voters are so stupid they thought they could vote by text. Similarly, we have now that another 4chan troll, we covered the other one before, has been arrested for allegedly threatening to kill a so-called anti-Nazi sheriff. This is a Vice article, so they have a very specific framing of it, right? But and the guy just Mike Chitwood, right? So here's another guy who is been arrested. Recent thread on poll was simply titled, "Stop telling Chitwood you'll kill him," featuring images of the post allegedly written by Myers, the first guy who was arrested. Some neo-Nazis on the site, oh fuck off, Vice, right, that they think this is a conspiracy and accuse both Myers and Golden of being Jewish. Both are being held on a $100,000 bond. So another person arrested for writing, that's why I had to put all that allegedly shit earlier. Another person arrested for typing shit posts even using, I think they even used, this second guy, I think, used the words in Minecraft, or was the first guy who said in Minecraft, not a defense anymore. Meanwhile, so this is going to be held on a $100,000 bond. Meanwhile, if you're in New York City, you'll get released for assaulting someone with a weapon for $1 bail. Cute. So, oh yeah, this is actually the first one I wanted to play before I get to the Marjorie Taylor Greene one. This last week, the leftists have been screaming outside of Trump Tower. We looked at the one that just broke, but listen to this. Listen to this. It is a black woman who has painted herself in white body paint, standing out in front of the sectioned off area for Trump supporters in front of the New York City criminal courthouse, causing a scene while screaming profanities at Trump supporters. Listen to this.
Crackhead Barney, president!
Why you telling me to read because I'm black? Get the fuck over here, old white man. Why you telling me not to read? No, tell us. We want to know. How do you feel? I am a racist. Fuck white people. Come over here.
It's just right there. It's the second time we've seen this in what, 3 weeks. Black women just straight up saying, I'm a racist. I hate white people. Thinking about that drink that one black lady had, though. Oh, she was being really racist. It was a really tasty looking drink. Spoon.
Yeah.
Look up. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Go.
At the Manhattan courthouse. Do you hear that awful noise? That high-pitched whistle?
That's your voice, darling.
I love you too, Bill. Don't say shit. I love you, my husband. Now, obnoxious. But here we have this.
Sir, can I ask what those are for?
So we hear that Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming to the city, right here. So we brought some whistles to hand out to people to drown her out with some noise.
Remember, it's the right to be heard. It's my right to be heard. I need to be able to be heard. So we're gonna drown everything out with
everyone
whistles.
else needs to hear me.
Right. Only me, and if you speak, I will drown you out with a literal whistle. Here is Representative Jamal Bowman. Here's what he had to say at the event.
New York Congressman Jamal Bowman, who spoke out against her visit.
Do your freaking job, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You don't need to be in New York City talking that nonsense. Go back to your district. You're not. What are you doing here? You're here.
Why have you called Trump? What are you doing?
Just out of curiosity, jackass. She was not in your district when she shut down the Amazon factories.
Yeah, very true. Very true, huh?
You're here for politics. You're here because you want to be VP. You're here for your own fundraising. You're here for your own nonsense.
Yes, and AOC didn't do the exact same thing by shutting down the Amazon jobs.
Yeah.
The exact.
I mean,
same
this is ridiculous.
Also, why
if conservatives
are you
show any
yelling?
solidarity?
Why are you
Right,
yelling
well-
in front of the camera? Like you were the personification of a black cliche.
But I mean, he is surrounded by a bunch of people. It might be really hard to hear. But
no, he's a jackass.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if Republicans show any kind of solidarity, well, then go home. How dare you? We should just be allowed to violently, do a little violent mob, because it's always okay when we do it. I don't know how violent I got, but just screech over you and stuff like that, and that's fine. You can't do anything to show support for the GOP. That's it. I want to do like 2 more things.
Okay.
Maybe. I know you're really sleepy. Can you wake yourself back up with rage? We can get through the second half of this in a half an hour. We can do it in a half an hour. I guarantee.
Half an hour? You should take.
Yes, we can do it in a half an hour. Let's go. We can do it in a half an hour. Because there's a couple things I want to cover before we. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do 2 streams, and we're probably have to do that to cover the Trump speech anyway. But I wanted. Okay. This thing irritated me because this one irritated me. Okay, this just got under my skin a little bit because it's academia. It's academia. It's my, wheelhouse, right? Where this shit pisses me off.
And the thing that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, Animation Unlimited. I don't stop spamming the chat or I will ban you. Just kidding. But I'll put you in timeout. I will talk to you, Animation Unlimited. I know. Calm down, friend. Okay, calm down. It'll be all right.
People want to hear me snore? That's gonna be unlikely.
Okay, so
I can pretend to.
So this girl went on TikTok. She has a 4.1 GPA. Now, you might not know what that means, but let me tell you what that means.
I know GPA stands for grade point average.
It stands for grade point average. Grade point averages are on a 0 to 4 point scale.
So what's a good scale?
So how do you have a 4.1? It ends at 4.0. If you see someone with a 4.1 GPA, it means they've gone to a school that has weighted grades, right? So that they are giving... They're giving you a grade above an A, essentially, right?
Okay.
They're giving her a grade above an A, which is a really good sign that the school is bullshitting, right? Because the U.S. works on a 4.0 best. Yes, she attended AP classes, but that's why it's bullshit. But it's why it's bullshit.
So I can look at her skin color and judge this.
Now, yeah, an AP class can take it up to a 5, but weighted credits are kind of stupid in my opinion. A lot of the high schools that offer this stuff are really, really weighting it. And yeah, in my day also they didn't go up to 5. So if that's how it is now, then maybe I'm wrong. But in my day, it stopped at 4. I took AP classes. I was valedictorian. I didn't have a 4.1 GPA. This is a nonsense GPA, in my opinion. And I think colleges know that. Colleges know that when they see shit like this, there's some nonsense going on. You know what else would convince them that there's some nonsense going on? This girl is complaining that it's basically, you know, I was a club president, I was in the honor society, I did my trauma story, I had 9 AP classes, did a NASA program, and she was rejected from pretty much all of her schools. One of the schools that accepted her didn't accept her for the program she wanted. But here's the problem, Celeste, that I'm not calling her a slut. Her name is Celeste, and I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. Like, that's her name. Celeste. I suppose that's it. She got an 1100. She got an 1100 out of 1600 on the SAT. Now, I took the old SAT, so I did the calculation to determine what. I didn't even have the balls. She mostly applied to Ivy League schools because of this 4.1 GPA. And I'm not in any way mad at this girl. I think she's been lied to. I think she's been extremely fucking lied to. Because she applied to almost exclusively Ivy League schools for STEM programs with an 1100 on the SAT. Now, when I took the SAT, it was on a 2400 point, and I had a 2150. In converting that to the modern SAT, my score on the SAT would have been about a 1480 to 1500, something like that. So I scored nearly 400 points above her, and even I was like, I can't apply to a Ivy League school with a 2150. And my thing is, I think this poor girl's actually been really lied to her entire life. Hence she's been lied to that she can go to Harvard and Yale and Princeton, and not to check herself and realize you're not going to do that. Okay, but I got a 32 on the ACT, so you beat me on that one. But you're not going to an Ivy League school with an 1100. That's not a good score. And what happened is, in my opinion, is that every college looked at this SAT score, which is a standardized test, and combined it with this 4.1 GPA, which is supposed to be on a 4-point scale, and went, so you went to a school that kind of flubs and fudges the GPA. I get it. And I honestly feel bad for her, because I think her high school has lied to her, and I think society has lied to her, and that it does make me feel sad. That's not her fault. I do feel bad, but people gotta you gotta set your expectations correctly. You're not going to Harvard with that SAT score. Sorry, it's never gonna happen. It never. Even with all of the help in the book. This is totally unrelated. This is just in my general culture war segment. So again, I want to I feel bad for this girl. It's not her fault. I really don't think it's her fault. It's the system's fault for telling her to. And by the way, I want to point this out too. And maybe she got some like breaks because she's non-white. I don't know. That's how colleges are now. But applying to someplace like Harvard and Yale can cost $100 per application. So her family, you know that? Yeah, the application can cost $100. So she basically wasted probably like $1,000. Judging by, look at her big trash bag full of rejection letters. She probably wasted like $1,000 applying to all these Ivy League schools with that 1100 SAT that was never going to get her into any of those schools.
What the
I think this 5.0 GPA thing is new. It didn't exist when I was in high school, so maybe it exists now, but it didn't exist when I was in school.
Apparently,
it was a 4.0
Dylan
GPA.
Mulvaney did a fucking advert for Nike now.
But we're Nike as well?
Yes, so from Budweiser.
Well,
from
we're gonna
pissy
look at the
beer
Budweiser
to
thing.
shitty athletic gear.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, I just feel bad for people who buy into this stuff. Because again, it's not her fault. It's all the fucking system for confusing her. This is somebody's fault.
Oh, like, why do you want this to be right before I go to bed?
Wake up.
No, this
Girl,
is
12,
me.
stabbed to death by 2 classmates in German Woodland. Pictured. 2 teenage girls who confessed to police are believed to have posted a TikTok dance following the stabbing. Now, why did they stab this girl? The girl's comment section on TikTok was repeatedly flooded with comments such as, how could you do this? And I can't believe it. According to the local media, Louise had been bullied at school. Who was she bullied by? The 2 girls who stabbed her to death. They put out cigarettes on her. I hate to say it, but this was racial.
Of course it was.
From what I've seen of it.
Yeah,
the 2 girls who
like
put out cigarettes on her and stabbed her to death are immigrants. And they bullied the shit out of this girl. And they did it in revenge for her confiding to an adult about the fact that they were bullying her by putting out cigarettes on her body. There's your black pill for the day, guys.
Thanks for
I'm
that.
not going to talk about it anymore. I just wanted to. Let's please take a moment. If you believe or not, take a moment to pray for this young girl, Louise. She did not deserve this in any way. And not only were just as the last black pill, not only were the 2 girls who killed her be tried because they are 12 and 13, it will not even go on their record, obviously. So, yep. There's your black pill. Sorry, guys. Here's another black pill. What? I just want to, before I start this is a new bill in Canada would criminalize protests and offensive remarks in parts of Canada.
Canada, you're gay.
Look at this image. Is this not a circus?
I've noticed it's overwhelmingly, the mentally ill.
Well, you have a morbidly obese child. And it's not her fault because children, but a unhealthy child, 2 men dressed like clowns. One of them literally has like a clown haircut thing going on and makeup. Jesus Christ. People in masks, and then protect 2 SLGBTQI plus communities, talking about how if you misgender them, you're going to go to jail. Listen to this.
Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI plus community safety zone to prohibit within 100 meters of the property any homophobic, transphobic act of intimidation, threat, offensive threats, offensive remarks, protest, disturbance, and distribution of hate propaganda within the meaning of the criminal code. It also
that's Orwellian as holy fuck.
It is Orwellian. If you say something that's offensive to them, remember that if you get their pronouns wrong, that would fall under this as an offense.
Also comes with it a penalty of $25,000 if prosecuted successfully.
So they're going to arrest you and charge you 25,000 Canadian dollar dues if you don't know what this person with this green and orange Oompa Loompa hair in the background. Actually, I'm feeling like real Willy Wonka vibes. No offense to the young girl, but looking a little bit Violet Beauregard in that dress. And then we've got the green hair Oompa Loompa in the back. Like, what is this? If you say something that they don't like, they'll just arrest you and charge you $25,000 in fining. What is this? I love how they're still wearing masks too, of course. I don't know, Spin, what do you think?
They're fucking
it's pure Orwell. It's pure Orwell. Yeah, Canada, I called this link Canada de Linda Est. So fuck, dude. Similarly not going great in New Zealand.
Sean. I just wanted to ask you, given comments by Keir Starmer in Britain, how does this government define a woman?
Go ahead, try.
To be honest, Sean, that question's come slightly out of left field for me.
It's certainly left field for you, I'm sure.
Biology, sex, gender.
Adult, human, female. Why is this hard? It's because they can't tell the truth, right? They can't say that it's adult, human, female. They can't say that.
It's more the case of why.
Because it will offend the transgender lobby.
Who fucking cares? They represent 0.01% of the population, and you are in a liberal democracy.
Exactly.
And why, in the name of God, do you have to cater to like 0.01% of the electorate? Like, what the fuck?
Well, because they want more people to be trans, because they remove themselves from the gene pool.
No, that's bullshit. You're moving your own electorate.
I think so.
That doesn't make any sense.
But these people believe in the Bill Gates stuff.
Who fucking cares? If you want to stay in election power, this doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but in their crazy heads, it does make sense. Because they cannot speak against the transgender lobby because they want people to remove themselves from the gene pool to achieve their agenda of green whatever,
People define themselves. People define their own genders.
No, they don't, you fucking retard.
He said that he believes 99.9% of women do not have penises. And I know it's a strange thing for him to say, but given recent events in New Zealand, I'd ask again, how do you define what a woman is?
Well, I think as I've just indicated, I wasn't expecting that question, so it's not.
Why can you? Okay, so, by the way, why is this not crazy viral?
Answer.
Because that woman who wasn't able to define what woke was, they've been talking about it for 2 weeks now, just everywhere. And I've said like,
what woke is. We can also define what woman is.
But there's a reason why it is hard to define woke. It's because they intentionally well, you know what I mean. Why it can be difficult for some people to define woke because they constantly change.
Like if you write a fucking book about it, I expect you to be able to fucking define it.
Look, it was very embarrassing of her to not be able to do that. But I think this is way worse. Because woke is an ideology that is constantly in flux. It's part of it.
Cultish religion.
But why can't he define woman? Right? Why can't? So that one's pretty solid. Is it Tim pulled to your take, Aiden? Is it? I mean, we've described. We've done it every week since it happened. So woke is a ideology that is based around the idea of systems of oppression that places people who are non-white, non-cis, and heteronormative as being oppressed by those who are, and must reframe all of society around prioritizing those oppressed people over the oppressors. That is the basic definition of woke. But this guy can't define woman because he's terrified to. Like you can tell he's shitting his pants because he knows he can't say adult, human, female.
that I've
which is the correct definition.
pre-formulated an answer on. But
why can't you? It's not difficult. Why are you a politician then if you don't know what a woman is?
So gender identity. I think people define their gender identity for themselves.
No, they fucking don't, you retard.
Yes.
What about, if you like, an official or a wider societal sense?
Again, I think
woke is critical theory. Critical theory is also DEI, and I forget another word they have for it now. They have another. They always change the words for it because once they get found out and it gets exposed, essentially they just change the term. But it's the same thing. It comes out of Marxist theory. It comes out of Theodore Adorno and the Frankfurt School.
We have rules in place now. If someone wants to change their gender on their birth certificate, for example, there's a process that they go through in order to do that. I haven't got the process chapter and verse in front of me, but it's available. Anybody can look it up and see what that process is.
What the fuck?
He looks fucking nervous as shit, doesn't he?
People being mean to the signer. I'm sorry. If you're not aware, something about the about sign language is that you have to be really. It's a part of the language. You have to be very facially emotive. So sometimes it makes signers look really silly. But just people who don't know sign language, I only know a little bit. But I don't think it's the signer's fault when she's very facially emotive. It's part of sign language. Lucifer the Doberman, member for 3 months. Hey, thank you. Says they want to be the oppressors. Absolutely they do. And they kind of are. But they also want to perpetually be the oppressed.
One follow-up, you described that you thought some of Posey Parker's views were abhorrent. Could you tell us which ones?
I think some of the views being conveyed around transgender community, some of the sentiment, some of the sentiment that she's expressed towards the transgender community is abhorrent in my view. Well, that they shouldn't.
He can't. This is so fucking infuriating.
Let him speak.
Which views? That's it. It's the end of the clip. Which views?
Oh, okay.
He doesn't know. That's it. He doesn't know. Which views? He doesn't.
Because he's basically Jacinda with a penis.
Yeah.
Also, the thing that I don't get is, how the hell do you not fuck with this? Because the amount of ammo you can make fun of these people with is astronomical.
Look at this person, by the way.
Okay, hands up, just in the chat, by the way. Can you just say the number one in the chat if you think this woman is batshit fucking crazy just from the look of her?
She's got sanpaku. She has straight up sanpaku eyes.
That woman is the kind of person that will burn your underwear in a ritual.
I missed this one from Cold War Mech. For 5, he says, I personally believe high schools should have elective classes for SWAT teams or law enforcement, gun safety and security all in one. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Look at this crazy lady, though. Yeah, I know from Wyoming, not what you're expecting. Democrat lawmaker in Wyoming called for politically motivated murders against those opposing the radical left's pro-trans agenda over the weekend. Again, this is Gateway Pundit. They are conservative. But I don't know if that's an incorrect way of interpreting this post.
That's fucking Jimmy Savile.
Antifa, who looks like Jimmy Savile.
That is fucking Jimmy Savile.
Whose name is...
What the fuck?
Whose name is Antifa. Protect trans folks against fascists and bigots.
It hurts. Like the cringe. Like it. Oh god, it's
not
painful.
Even a week. Not even a week after 6 people were murdered by a transgender, ideologically driven shooter. You have the cojones lady who looks insane to do more of it. In addition to the photo, independent journalist Andy No uncovered a disturbing TikTok from Provenza, that's her name, I'm sorry, where the voiceover calls for killing political opponents. Here, I'll pull this up. It's also just got pictures of, it's been deleted. Andy, you didn't, oh, I just watched it the other day. Did anybody, oh my God, did anybody archive this? Damn it. It's got a bunch of like snakes coming out of the water. Yeah, whatever. They say what it is here. I've seen it, guys. Trust me, it exists. Obviously, it's been deleted. Provenza's TikTok.
Insane.
It's set to an aquarium with sea snakes and fish. A voice screams, condone first-degree murders. The video then quickly cuts to a faux interviewer asking Provenza's political beliefs. The response, she says, and this is, I watched the video, kill everyone now, condone first-degree murders. This is the fucking insane world we're living in. Sorry about the jump scare. of her face. I think it is a divine quote, which is, but yeah, divine was the most disgusting humanity by Divine's own words, I believe, right? Divine described herself as the most, and I'll use Divine's pronouns because that's Divine is like a fucking, was a drag queen. Actually, I think Divine would have called herself himself. Whatever. Divine said that shit, so you're using stop doing this shit on Divine's grotesque dead body. You don't take Divine's name in vain. So this is very funny to me, and maybe to some of you out there. Maybe some of y'all remember Riley Dennis.
I remember this, like Andy Warski used to make fun of it.
Andy Warski and Barry used to make fun of Riley Dennis all the time because he would make these really lunatic YouTube videos, including one that I actually can't show you because it's been deleted. Unfortunately, I can't show you the video because Riley has removed it. One of the last videos that this is by Riley over here on Everyday Feminism, and that's the reason why I'm going to show the original stuff because I want to see you can see the thumbnail for this video, which has been removed, is Are genital preferences transphobic? You
have nothing better to do with your life, do you?
I know.
Not you, by the way, like this moron.
No, I know. But here, even though the video is private, as you can see, we can read the transcript. Recently on the internet, there's been a lot of discussion about genital preferences and transphobia. In this video, I'm going to use the word cissexism and transphobia, but they're similar words. At its most basic, cissexism means prejudice and discrimination against transgender people, blah, blah, blah. You're being homophobic. In this argument, I often get accused of homophobia, lesbophobia, or lesbian erasure by lesbians who believe I'm trying to change their sexual orientation or identity.
That is what you
see that my
do.
language? It is. This person, whose picture you can see here, is a lesbian, according to them.
That is a man.
Here's another picture right here of this person who is a lesbian.
That is a man.
And if you don't suck the feminine penis, well, then you're homophobic. Or excuse me, you're being transphobic.
That is a man.
And these responses are rooted in cissexism. I'm not telling lesbians they can't be lesbians. If you're a woman who only likes women, go ahead, identify as lesbian. But some women have penises.
No, they
and
don't.
if the no, I know. Can you? This is in 2017, by the way, that this video was produced, and everybody mocked this video. Hence, why it's deleted or privated, right? And the fact that, and if the fact that some lesbians might be attracted to those women offends you, it's because you don't think trans women are real women. No, what you're saying
That's
here
'cause
is
they're
that if
not.
you're a lesbian and you're not attracted to a penis, then you're a bigot. That's because these accusations of homophobia make it sound like I'm trying to convince lesbians to like men, but I'm not. I'm trying
Yes,
to
you
show that preferences for women with vaginas over women with penises might be partially informed by the influence of a cis-sexist society. You don't have to like men. You don't have to date men or have sex with men. And if you think that's what I'm arguing, you're simultaneously strawmanning my argument and implying trans women are men. Riley, you are arguing for this. You're arguing that if you are a lesbian who is a woman who is only interested in having sex with women with vaginas, if they don't also want to have sex with a quote woman who has a penis, then they're being sexist and bigoted.
Aiden, do you remember lobotomies?
What? Lesbians don't want to have sex with men.
Yeah, that's kind of what makes them gay.
Exactly. You're upholding rape culture. Yeah, you kind of are. And I'm going to get into more how you're upholding rape culture, Riley.
Also, Aiden, do you remember lobotomy?
I know, yeah.
The medical procedures. We should go back to those.
Anyway, I'm a big fan of confirmative consent. You have to have sex with a trans woman or you're that's not saying you have to have sex with a trans woman or else you're sexist. That is what you're saying, by the way. It's saying that you should examine the societal influences on your preferences. You're shaming lesbians into having sex with you. That's what you're doing. You're pretending you're not, but only very vaguely. You're being pretty open. Being pretty fucking open. I'm allowed to have my preferences. Technically, you're right. You're allowed to have your preferences, and you don't have to change anything, but it's more to it than that, and ignoring the deeper issues by stopping at a surface analysis doesn't do this issue any justice.
Yes, it does.
You're allowed to have a lot of things. You're allowed to have a prejudice against trans people. That doesn't mean you should. again, it's pretty fucking clear what's going on here. Having a preference for tall girls is fine, but refusing to date anyone under 5'7" is ridiculous. No, it's not. It's your fucking preference. And obviously that's not a perfect analogy because short girls as a group don't face the societal marginalization that trans women do. Shut up, Riley. You are allowed to be like, hey, by the way, if you're like a 5'10" dude or a 5'11" dude, you're not, which is normal, by the way, and you're like, I'd rather date a girl who's shorter than 5'7" so that, so we're not the same height. You're allowed to have that preference. And that's way different, by the way. Not even saying you can have a height preference, but saying you can't have a preference for whether or not your girlfriend as a lesbian has a penis. I have a trans friend who says this is okay. Whatever, I don't care. I'm triggered by penises because of past sexual trauma. Here's the really insane part. That's completely understandable. I've never said that anyone should have to have sex with someone with a penis if they don't want to. Yes, you did. You just said it. The entire fucking video. It's your entire point. Is that if you don't do it, you're a bigot. That's your entire point. If intimacy with someone who has a penis is triggering for you, I would never suggest that you do that. Take your time to heal and work through your trauma. Just be aware that the majority of people making the I would never date someone with a penis argument are not doing it because of trauma or triggers. Where's your evidence? Actually, for once, cite your fucking source. Lesbians don't want to have sex with people with penises. That's what makes them a lesbian. So this video did not go over well. It went over well, about as well as a hot fart, In
an elevator.
Not a great look. I was looking at Riley's channel. He hasn't uploaded anything in about... Why am I bringing this up? I'm going to tell you why I'm bringing this up, El Degusto. Watch this shit. This happened in 2017 that Riley posted this video, right? There's a reason I'm bringing up an old video. Riley then stopped posting political stuff and posted all these... I went to his channel today and saw that. He mostly posted like Avatar The Last Airbender and cartoon reviews and then kind of disappeared. But it's come back. Riley Dennis, the person who made that video, moved to Australia to beat the physical shit out of women in the New South Wales Football League. I'm not joking. Riley Dennis has decided to start her beautiful football career as a lovely 30-year-old woman, which is like the time, or maybe 27. I don't know how old Riley is. It's like somewhere between 27 and 30, at which point most people in professional sports would be retiring. Gee, I wonder why Riley can start their career at 30, 28, whatever. Oh, I'll tell you why. It's because Riley is a biological male.
Testosterone.
Who is a foot taller than every single woman on the pitch. I don't know, and I don't think anyone really knows how long Riley has been playing on the New South Wales women's football team. Because nobody watches women's football. But, so this was the photo that was posted of this player, trying not to identify them. On the left here, that's just been censored. But on the right, we can see it came from Riley's Instagram. Yeah, this is not the NFL theme, but I'll just do Riley has led the first grade goal kickers on the table. Riley is the #1 goal kicker in the women's New South Wales Football League. Excuse me, not club. She's in the Inter Lions FC. It has been alleged that Dennis, 30, who reportedly plays for the Inter Lions FC, injured women from an opposing side in a match last weekend. Reports that female player had to seek hospital attention as a result of her injury are as of yet unconfirmed. So Riley stopped making YouTube videos and then moved to Australia with, by the way, to her fiance, right, who is a chubby, I'm going to show you, I don't want to bring up, not really relevant, but is it a chubby woman who is a biological woman who is his fiance, to physically kick the shit out of women after saying, if you don't suck my feminine dick, you're a bigot. Saying for 2 says, by the way, why is there a New South Wales, Australia, man? This is so you can also see here if I zoom in. Originally, their name was listed as Riley Dennis, and again, it's a picture taken from Riley Dennis's Instagram page that was used in their profile for the football club. They have now changed Riley Dennis's name to just Interplayer. But you can also see that Riley Dennis has scored 7 goals. The next closest goal scorer in women's first grade is 4. So Riley Dennis is just at age 30 beating the shit out of all these 20-year-old women playing football in Australia. Wow. Wow. I'm just... here's some confirmation. I'm incredibly grateful, says Riley Dennis, to be in Australia during this pandemic. The strong measures that have been put into place, should be in the totalitarian dictatorship, to stop the spread of COVID have saved so many lives. They didn't. It made me feel safe. I'm just so scared for all my friends and family back in the US. This is a funny related story. This guy, Avi Silverberg, a powerlifting coach who has worked with Team Canada, decided to self-identify as a woman last week to participate in the women's category at the Heroes Classic Powerlifting meet held in Lethbridge, Alberta. Silverberg was attempting to highlight the unfair advantage that males have in competing in women's athletics. While participating in the Saturday event, Silverberg unofficially broke the Alberta women's bench press record for the 84 plus kilograms category. Here it is. Just to be clear, what happened again is that this person, just to prove a point, said, okay, I identify as a woman now, so I'm gonna set the record for women's powerlifting. And what a shock. I mean, Spoon, could you imagine it? He beat the record. She, this beautiful woman, here she is. Do you see her right here? Here she is. Here's this beautiful woman. She's about to break the women's powerlifting record. Wow. Let me just zoom in. There she is. Look, there she is. She is beautiful.
No.
Mad respect for this dude, though. To just prove how stupid and pointless their ideology is.
Well, yeah, we could have told you that fucking ages ago.
I know. But it's still so absolutely goddamn ridiculous. And let's end on Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh,
so Dylan Mulvaney.
There's so many jokes I could write with what you just said.
Let's whoa. Bud Light partnership with
finish with, not finish on.
Okay. Bud Light partnership with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney prompts right-wing backlash, says NBC News.
Can you please put up the Babylon Bee headline?
Oh, do you have it? Hang on, I'll go find it real quick.
Yeah, hold on.
I know you sent it to me. Bud Light.
Yeah, it should be in the history.
I know, but oh my god, is this it? Is this the one you sent me? Because this one's pretty spicy. Scientists at Budweiser attempt to discover how many beers it would take for Dylan Mulvaney to pass as a woman.
No, that's even better, actually.
Is that one now a check?
Oh, is that the Babylon Bee?
This is the Babylon Bee right here. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's even better than the first fucking one.
I know, holy shit.
That's
This is
fucking
the Bee.
great.
Wow, look at this sad scientist. Oh my god. So here's Dylan's first of all, you know what's ridiculous about this? Here's the sponsored post.
Oh my god, way to start, Aiden. Jesus Christ.
God, look at this. Oh my god. By the way, Dylan has just very recently had facial feminization surgery, but I don't believe that Dylan takes HRT, because this is, I don't know what this is, but so Dylan's facial feminization surgery has, in my opinion, kind of worn off in like a month, because Dylan did look a little bit more feminine for like a month, but is a man, so, you know, biologically, sorry, Dylan. Let's just watch
this was the
let's
first
watch
one.
the 2 clips. Oh, sent it to me. Okay. That Babylon Bee headline's fucking crazy. Wait, what? Wait, I got it. Oh yeah. Let's pull this up real quick before I play the video. 'Cause, gosh. Beverage pretending to be beer features man pretending to be woman. I would bring this up again.
Good. That's really good.
This is the headlines, great. Look at this can. That is not flattering at all.
No, that makes you look
so
like
unflattering.
Bruce Jenner on steroids.
Yeah. Lucifer the Doberman for $10 or $11 Canadian says, I beat a top 10 female tennis player, Martina Hingis, when I was 24. I've never played professionally. There is a huge gap. Yeah, obviously. So, obviously. Thank you, Doberman. Lucifer.
Sorry.
Let's watch the ad.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness. And I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my...
Look, Bud Light does taste like piss. I just drank a Carlsberg
I bet you
earlier
that's
this
not
evening.
even Bud Light in that can.
Maybe. Well, no, they seem to. She seemed to open it. Whoa! I did it. I accidentally did it. Look, I was drinking a Carlsberg earlier tonight to help me wake me up. But come on.
You see why? You see why? Actually, if you shouldn't be polite and use their fucking pronouns. Like,
if you think this video looks like Dylan isn't enjoying the Bud Light, because Bud Light is piss. It's skunk brew, but it is drank exclusively by guys who like football and sports and manly things. Frat boys like drink Bud Light, and other than that, it's just like men who want a cheap beer.
It's just men who want to get drunk.
Working class males. Nobody who cares about this gender insanity wants to drink Bud Light. Nobody who cares about this gender nonsense drinks Bud Light.
My day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my...
Where you look like...
a lunatic?
It kind of reminds me, like, you look like, when they do all those kind of stylized pictures of all the classic horror movie monsters, like Freddy Krueger and Jason.
Yeah,
it's in that kind of style.
You look like Darth Vader without the mask.
Yeah, there you go.
Face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too.
Oh, it's so, but it doesn't.
People are accusing you of shorting my lifespan.
I'm sorry. It doesn't stop there. This is the one I actually really want. This is the. I think the music's gonna change because this is not from Dylan. No. Okay, just. Can I turn the music off on this? Where's the...
You might not subject my audience
to No, it's fine. No, it's got Clown World music. Look at this shit.
Do we have to?
Yeah. That's how we're gonna do it. It's so performative and weird. But you can really see that Dylan does not enjoy the Bud Light here. It's why I wanted to play it. And I enjoy the because there was originally copyrighted music on it, but this person, the right news who re-uploaded it, put clown music on it, which is way better. Drink the fucking beer. This is so insulting as a woman. Like, I don't get easily insulted for women shit because I'm not the biggest fan of women. This insults me though. Dylan Mulvaney insults me. Drink the fucking beer. Your literal only job is to drink the damn beer. Drink the damn beer. Just drink it. Isn't it interesting that he won't drink the fucking beer? He won't drink the fucking beer because it's so gross. I mean, like, for him, like, it's not a good fucking beer. So that's the end. I'm so tired of this shit. You know, goddamn, dude. Well, Spoon.
I hate everyone.
It's been a long night. Amsang for $5 says even the co-founder of Anheuser-Busch, Adolphus Busch, wouldn't drink dot schlop. Probably. It is woman face and whore face. It's awful.
If you're gonna drink beer, you should drink beer from like the Czech Republic or Poland.
Czech Republic. Well, this is
they make
this
good beer.
Carlsberg. I think this is a Danish, by appointment to the Royal Danish Court. It's from Denmark.
Beer.
Right? It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty shit, but you know, we got a big case of it. We got a case of it for free. So from Bill's work of the Carlsberg, and so every once in a while having a beer does like it's nice. You know. Well, thank you, Spoon, for putting up with that nonsense and staying up so late. I know you were getting real sleepy.
I will strangle you.
All right, I'll strangle you too, bestie.
Throttle.
All right. We'll see, guys. We got through most of it. Do you want to cover Trump's thing, his actual speech on Saturday? We can do a short stream if you want to do it.
Sure,
let me know.
Why not?
Don't know if we're going to do it for sure, but we'll let you guys know.
You can do it on Rumble where I can say gamer words.
All right. Yeah, maybe we'll do it on Rumble. We'll do a Rumble exclusive responding to Trump's thingy.
Yes, where we can say game words. Like, my job is to get Aiden to say game words, which she doesn't do, by the way. She's still cocked and gay.
No, you. All right, thank you, guys.
Why would you not say the F word? You're on... why not? You're on Rumble,
Everybody,
like you can say it.
Time to go to sleep.
If Jim can say the F and N word and still be liked, you can as well.
Because I don't think they're polite words.
Oh, for God's sakes. Do you realize how you talk to me when we're not on stream?
Yes. Anyway.